The Loaded Joe's MMA Podcast.
Going back to drinking beer and eating fruit roll. There you go.
Backing off is the best exercise you can have. There's pleasure and there's workout.
UFC climbing in your windows, snatching your people up.
If they made basketball illegal, it wouldn't even bother me. I don't like other sports. They're boring to me. Everything else pales in comparison to the excitement of mixed martial arts fighting.
I will be successful. I will dominate it.
Where I come from, people like that get slapped.
Am I at the end? Oh. Why is that? Because I said so.
Because I'm going to put those hands on you worse than that dude did with other kids at Penn State.
Once again, we are underway.
Hello. Hey guys, we're back to recording. We're back to starting episode 3 of the Loaded Joe's MMA podcast. What's going on? It's your boy Money Blake Weather, a.k.a. Blake Stevenson, over here with my host,
John Matty Max.
And got Jordan V back.
Yeah, Jordan V over here.
Jordan
What's up, Jordan?
V. Got Uncle Bud in the house. Uncle Bud, our producer. Say hi, Uncle Bud.
Chew.
And we got R Squared, Ryan. What's up, Ryan? How you doing today, buddy?
What's up, man?
All right, so we're going to give old Jason Floyd a call. Man, dude, we've been running behind. I'm going to call him right now.
It looks like your volume's
Call him!
low.
I'm calling him.
All right.
They're
Well,
calling me.
all right. That's better.
All right. Hey, can somebody turn up the volume on the speaker? Hello? Jason?
Hello. Yeah.
Jason, how's it going, man? This is Blake.
How you doing, Blake?
I'm doing good, man. So we're on Loaded Joe's MMA podcast. How you doing today, man?
Doing pretty good, man. How you guys doing?
Oh, man, everything's going good over here. We're just getting our little podcast game started, and yeah, man, we're pretty excited about the fights this weekend. How you feeling about the fights this weekend?
Oh, it's one of the best pay-per-views UFC's put on, in over the last 12 months. I talked about on my show today. There's not a lot of fight cards that I get excited about, excited to sit and watch, and this is one of them. I think top to bottom on the pay-per-view, 5 excellent fights. Obviously, the main event, most anticipated fight he's probably seen since Anderson Shellstone 2 back at UFC 148. You've got potentially the next flyweight title contender will be determined if she goes out there and Lombard Brooke good fight, and Cerrone Journey will be a good fight as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, I'm pretty excited about this card. I heard you talking about it, and I try and listen to the MMA report as often as I can, and yeah, I'm excited to have you on the show, and excited to hear what you think about everything. First off, I want to get you introduced to the crew over here. We've got my co-host John.
Hey, what's up? I'm John.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm John. I'm from Austin, Texas. I hear you're from Florida.
Yeah, I'm from Tampa, Florida.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you're representing your state and city, but we have a couple questions for you about what you think about UFC tomorrow night.
So tomorrow night, man, what's kind of your breakdown for the Jones Cormier fight? I heard you kind of touching on it, but I know some of these guys, don't always have time to listen to a whole bunch of podcasts, and I want them to kind of hear your thoughts on it, because you had a nice breakdown about that fight, and also I liked your insight in the Nate Marquardt and Brad Tavares fight. So if you could kind of shed some light on both of those two fights.
Well, first off, in the main event, I think the thing that really hasn't been talked about a lot, and it does get talked about a lot with John Jones, is the reach advantage he's going to have. So Daniel Cormier has to get on the inside. He talked about after the weigh-in the other day that he can't sit on the outside and expect to defeat John Jones. He's got to get on the inside. I think you're going to see a lot of kicks from Daniel Cormier, maybe something you necessarily haven't seen in the past. He's got a tough challenge in front of him. I think John Jones is going to win. I think he's going to win by decision. If he gets a stop victory, I think he submits Daniel Cormier. But for Daniel Cormier, he's got to use his wrestling. He's got to get the fight to the ground and force John to fight off his back. In terms of the Brad Tavares and Nate Marquardt fight, I think Nate he's kind of at the back end of his career, and I just think that I'm picking Brad Tavares to win more, thinking that this is more about Brad really changing up some things in his stand-up. We're trying to get more of a speed aspect as opposed to the power, and I just think that this is kind of you're seeing a guy get to the end of his career, and I just think you're going to see the younger guy go out there and get the victory.
Right. Another thing that you brought up, too, that a lot of people didn't know, and I kind of broke it down to my crew here. There's a lot more than just me and Johnny here, and everybody's kind of, we're just getting started, and everybody's kind of sitting down and stuff. But the fact that Liam McGeary was brought in as a training partner, I thought that was really, really interesting, and I found out that about, I think it was last week on MMA Junkie Radio. I think some caller had called in. I didn't even know that, and I think that's a very interesting choice for Daniel Cormier to come in and bring him in because of it's, which really is, 3.5 inches. I mean, he's got an 81-inch reach. He's 6'6", and he's got super mad power, Liam McGeary does. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, Liam is a guy that's, I think for people who really follow this game understand how talented he is. Not only is he a great striker, he's also very good on the ground. A lot of people don't really talk about that with him. He showed that in his tournament run in Bellator with the inverted triangle choke.
That inverted triangle was nasty, man.
Yeah, that was an unreal submission. But he offers Daniel Cormier the length that he was going to see with John Jones. That's one of the toughest things any opponent has with facing John Jones is bringing in a training partner that can give them the length, that they give them that look that they're going to see inside the cage. And he also brought in King Mo Lawal. Obviously, it goes back to their Oklahoma State days as wrestlers. To really work on the wrestling game. So Daniel Cormier has not shed any expense in this training camp. Liam McGeary is the guy who lives in New Jersey. Flew him out to American Kickboxing Academy for several weeks. For instance, Liam McGeary was with him in Phoenix for the Fox show just to get some workout sessions in while he was doing his work for Fox. So,
shit.
So that's that just shows there was no expense. Anything they needed to do to make sure Daniel Cormier was ready, they made sure.
Absolutely. Let's step outside of UFC 182. I kind of wanted to kind of go back. And when did you really start becoming a journalist for MMA? By the way I understand it, I think I heard you talking about it 2 episodes ago or so. You had started in 2009, writing.
Yeah.
You've been watching it since 2007, 2006. Is that kind of the story?
Yeah. I was working for a media company covering various sports, and I had someone. Insider company knew that I watched MMA. The first day I wanted to cover MMA, and that's kind of how it all got started. Doing some writing, doing some radio shows, podcasts, whatnot, and good traveling up a little bit, whatnot, and I really enjoy it.
Fuck yeah! What was the first fight that really got you hooked into UFC or MMA? What was that first fight that really got you in? And you're like, oh my goodness, this sport right here. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's it's a story that a lot of people have. It's the Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner fight from the Ultimate Fighter finale. I think that's how a lot of us got introduced to sport. Especially with becoming a legitimate sport with the unified rules and whatnot. That was really honestly, I just started going out with friends to bars to watch the pay-per-views. I can remember sitting there. One memory I always had was Chuck Liddell's Rise, and we were out at a sports bar when Rampage Jackson beat him, and I can say the bar we were at, you could have heard a pin drop when Rampage Jackson won that fight.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was the same way. That one of the first fights I ever saw was a Chuck Liddell fight, because I really didn't get into UFC and MMA until 2009. But one of the first fights I saw was prior to that was the UFC Rashad versus Chuck, and I remember just everybody just kind of froze for a second when they saw Chuck hit the ground. It was kind of a moment of silence, there's a fallen hero in this building, and Chuck Liddell be thy name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the thing in this sport is there's going to come a point where a guy that becomes a huge fan favorite where it just you pass your prime. It happens in every sport, not just MMA. I mean, any sport when an athlete gets past his prime, then it's unfortunate to see in this sport because when you talk about what happens in this sport, it's usually pretty brutal.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, man. Well, that's interesting, man. I'm going to pass off the mic over here to one of my other co-hosts, John, and I'm sure he's got some questions for you coming up.
Hey, what's up, man? I hear a lot of people, state the same Ultimate Fighter, fight Forrest Griffin, and Stephan Bonner. I know. I mean, that fight really is what brought MMA and UFC into the spotlight, and paved the way for what it is today. My question to you is, at what point did you decide to look at the past UFC fights? Like, did you ever watch UFC 1 and UFC 2, just to get a little bit more of the history on it?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I remember when I was younger, I've got an older brother, about 7 years older than I am, and I remember him bringing home the VHS of the UFC 1, UFC 2, and, obviously back in those days, it was very tough to get any footage of MMA, unlike it is today. I mean, now you can simply have a Fight Pass subscription, and you can go back and watch all those fights. So I think it is always it's good to know the history of the sport, and obviously I probably can't tell you how many hours of MMA I've watched, since I've been covering sport.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so, in the very beginning, it really took my eye, Royce Gracie, beating all these larger men that way more muscular. Ever since, that epidemic of his reign was occurring, and then MMA began to evolve. At what point do you feel that wrestling basically took the spotlight away from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, obviously, wrestling is the best base in this sport. If you want to be a high-level fighter, I think the sport's kind of gone in phase. I think it's gone to jiu-jitsu, and it had a little bit of strife now. Wrestling, but I think now what you're seeing, especially, you look at guys like Rory McDonald, guys that come into the sport, recently, they have a background in everything, and you have to. If you don't have a background in everything, you're going to get exposed pretty quickly. We'll find out with CM Punk here when he debuts. Obviously he's training jiu-jitsu, but he has no background in striking. So we're going to see how well Duke Rufus can get his abilities up. Speaking of wrestling being the bread and butter of today's MMA fighters, what do you think about Khabib? You have any thoughts about him? That's my boy right there. I'm saying he's coming for that. He's going to be champion. Yeah, I think Khabib has done a great job of talking himself up, and obviously he's a very tremendous grappler. And I think for him, he probably wants to get a fight before taking on Anthony Pettis when you're talking about a major knee injury where, been out for a long time. But he's very talented. Is he the guy to unsettle Anthony Pettis? I don't know. The question is can he sit there and strike with Anthony Pettis if the grappling game is not working for him? Anthony Pettis, the grappling was obviously a weak point for him when he came into the UFC after being the WEC champion, but you see the work with Ben Askren about how much he's improved as a grappler. It makes me wonder if Khabib can't get that fight to the ground and he has to stand and strike with Anthony Pettis, it could be a very long night for him.
Absolutely. Jason, I had a question, man. One of my favorite podcasts is the one you do with Sam Kaplan, that MMA Insiders podcast. How did all that come about, man?
It was simply when Sam was let go by Bellator. I actually just reached out to Sam to try to get an interview with him to book him on a show, and ended up. Sam asked me if I'd be interested in co-hosting a podcast with him, and obviously, I took on the opportunity. One of the things in media is you want to do things that are different, and there's not podcasts out there where you've got a former executive from a promotion that's going to talk about anything. So, that's one of the things, and I credit Sam a lot for really opening up about a lot of things because there's things about podcasts that he says that I learn every week, and learning from him and kind of how things are handled by a promotion.
He's always got so many interesting stories. I always find it fascinating, like, and it's really good chemistry. Like, you and him kind of bounce off of each other really well. I don't know, man. I really enjoy it. But kind of along those lines, what's one of? I mean, I know he always comes out with a crazy story, and what's one of your crazy stories, like being an MMA journalist, like that you remember and it sticks out to you? You're like, oh, I remember this moment. You know, like you're sitting down with your grandkids one day. You're like, let me tell you this story right here. What would that story be, man?
Man, I tell you, there's been a lot. I mean, there's moments in the sport I'll never forget. I think UFC 148, Anderson and Chael 2. I think that's an event I'll never forget. You know, a lot of times when you're on the road and you see some of these guys who are just battling to make weight, and then once they make weight and how they're getting fluids into their system, whatnot. But I think Anderson and Chael 2 will always be that moment that you sat back and said, "Wow, this is a crazy thing."
Right. Well, I mean, like, do you have any, like, personal stories, though? Like, this one time this thing happened to me, and I don't know, man. I don't know how to ask this, but, like, I don't know if it's a weird question or not, man, but, like, one time this such and such happened to me, and I'll never forget it. Like, do you have one of those moments? I mean, I'm sure you have plenty of those moments, like being on the road and stuff, man.
You know, I think when you're on the road, it's just, you know, talking to fighters. And I always value any time a fighter gives me, you know, a couple weeks ago, this is back in October, you know, sitting in a hotel doing an interview with Desmond Green and seeing how Des has evolved as a fighter, knowing, you know, meeting Des when he came into Bellator. This was his first fight outside of Bellator. And sitting there talking and doing an interview with him where he's talking about all the changes. And, you know, as a reporter, there's always guys that you're going to root for.
Right.
Because you've had a chance to talk to them, and you want to see them guys succeed. You know, Des is one of those guys. I always talk about a story. Czech Congo couldn't be a nicer guy. I've had an opportunity to interview Czech Congo multiple times in person, and you know, people probably look at him on TV screen and think he
looks so angry.
Yeah, he's scary.
But he's the absolute nicest guy. And one of the things about him is he always remembers people's names.
Really?
And he'll sit there and he'll talk about it. He's like, hey, I remember we did this interview here. We were in this room. And I've always Czech is always he's one of those guys that he's just like, hey, you want to come here do the interview? Hey, well, go ahead. Let's do it. I mean, I've always Czech is one of those guys, just one of the nice guys in this business.
That's awesome, man. That's a good story right there. I mean, I didn't expect Czech to be a mean guy, but man, that's nice to hear. Like he's and I always hear that about fighters though. Like they're always like some of the super nicest, coolest, kindest people you meet. And yeah, I had the opportunity to meet a couple of them when they came down here for the Austin card. So I kind of understand in a way, you know, like because when I would ask them to take a picture, like they were just so nice, and they're just like, yeah, let's do a picture, you know. So I definitely understand. Like I had met Nick Hine after he lost. God, who was he fighting? I forget who he was fighting, man. But I met him, and his face was just bruised and battered, and couldn't be. I was, you know, a little timid to approach him, but he couldn't be I was like, can I take a picture? He's like, yeah, let's take a picture, yeah, you know. Yeah, I don't. His kind of had broken English, you know, but couldn't have been a nicer guy, man. He was asking if he did a good fight and if he had put on a good fight for the fans. I'm like, man, don't even worry about it. You did good, you know. Like, so I kind of understand like where you're coming from when you're saying that about somebody, especially like Czech, you know.
Yeah, I mean, most of the guys, you know, I think the perception of these guys are mean guys. They're not educated, but it's the exact opposite. I mean, most of the guys are come across very nice, very approachable, but they're all very highly educated guys. I mean, obviously they know what they're doing, and they know that there's potentially long-term effects that are good for them. But yeah, you know, it's being as someone who's traveled, you really get to find out who some of these guys are, and there's a lot of good guys in the sport.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Jason, I want to kind of get into this real quick. All of our guests that we have on, we like to do a little 15 random question. We give them 2 minutes, and we just kind of ask them it can be anything random, man. It's like, what color is the sky? Just random questions. I want to do 2 minutes with you.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. So we're starting the timer, and here we go. What's your favorite movie?
Ooh, favorite movie. I'll go Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. All right. Favorite color?
Green.
Okay. Favorite food? Like favorite, you're out, you want to eat, like your favorite, like if I had to put it, simply delicious food, man. You're like, oh, I gotta have this.
Oh, it's gotta be a pizza.
We're eating pizza right now, so. All right. And favorite fighter of all time?
Ooh, favorite fighter. I'll go Fedor.
That's my favorite right there. Perfect. Classic right there. Favorite drink? You're at the bar. What's your favorite drink, man?
Jack Daniels.
Sweet.
Straight up?
Splash Coke.
For a little bit of color. All right. NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? Who are you choosing?
I'll go NSYNC.
All right. Favorite all-time fight?
Favorite all-time fight? Any Diego Sanchez fight. I think the guy goes out there and always puts on his show.
That's a good answer. All right, so you get locked up for a night in jail, and the guards give you an option. You can be put in a cell with James Thompson or Bob Sapp. Who are you picking as a cellmate?
I'll go Bob Sapp. I think he'd have some good funny stories for you to do that.
Nice. All right, scariest MMA fighter in your opinion?
Oof. Man. I'll take Prince Alaska.
Oh.
He's the best man on the planet.
It's a nice one. All right, favorite Prince song?
Not really a Prince guy.
Oh, man. All right, no worries. Celebrity crush?
Oof. I can't even tell you.
All right. Who's your favorite person to interview?
Favorite person to interview would probably be Joe Warren.
Nice. Okay. Country with the most beautiful women?
Well, I gotta go to the United States because I live in the United States.
Country with the ugliest women?
Oof. Well, I've only been to one other country, so I guess I'd have to say that one since I've been there, and that would be the United Kingdom.
Oh, United Kingdom. All right. And the last question, did you ever have a crush on the Pink Ranger?
No.
That's a lie. That's a lie, Jason. I know it. All right, man. That's perfect. 2 minutes, man. 2 minutes down. Well, yeah, man. I think, I don't know. Did I catch you at a bad time when I called you, Jason?
No, man. I'm just sitting on the couch watching a little college football.
Okay, perfect. So what else do you do, man, outside of MMA commentary and you do football stuff, and how do you have time to just do everything, man? It sounds like you have 1,001 jobs, man.
Yeah, the football season, it's a little bit of a busy time, but my football work is done. We'll start back until August to get here, but you just find ways, and sit there and sometimes it may be very hectic, but sometimes it's kind of slow. We kind of before this week we were kind of in like a 2-week very slow period, so it's kind of nice to cover some fights tomorrow night. Absolutely, man.
So you got to admit it, man. MMA is a bit funner to follow than football.
It's tough. It's tough. Sometimes I wonder for the casual fan how they do keep up. There's so many fights going on, and so many cards and so many fight announcements, so many news. How fans that do follow this sport, it's pretty crazy.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. So right now, with all this crazy season going on and stuff, how do you schedule out your time to keep up with, like football and MMA, and I don't know if you've got family stuff, and how crazy is your schedule, like really, like day to day, week to week, man?
Having a home office helps out a lot. You can do a lot of things from home, and when you got to go out and do, one parent, you can do it. But typically I'm up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning every day for the most part. And, and usually by about 7, 8 o'clock at night, I kind of, I shut it off for the day. And, something happens overnight, something happens overnight, and I'll get to it the next day.
Oh, yeah, man. Sounds good. That's good, man. Wow, man. Well, I'm just excited, man, that you were able to come on, dude. I feel a little starstruck. I mean, I should probably, just to say the least, man, because I just a little bit, man. Because I mean, I really like yours and Sam Kaplan's podcast, man, and that's kind of what really inspired me. And I like hearing yours because it kind of gives. I feel like you can get personal with the fighters, man, and that's what I really like, just to kind of peek past that little curtain, you know what I mean, so to speak, and take a look into all the crazy shit that's going on in their life at any given time, you know what I mean?
Anytime you talk to a fighter, I just, you kind of just talk to them. I did an interview with Pat Healy yesterday, and, we just kind of talk to them, you listen to them, and you hear about the struggles of a fighter, and, get a guy getting released by the UFC, and, what his plans were, and finding out that, local promoters in his area just weren't paying fighters a lot of money, and he felt bad for some of his teammates in Oregon that were fighting for, $300, $400, $500 for a fight, and, kind of hearing that struggle of a fighter of what they have to do. It's tough business when you're a young guy, you're trying to, work your way up the regional scene and potentially get to the UFC. It's tough.
Absolutely, man. What do you think is probably, like, I know, you talk to enough fighters. What do you think in a fighter's life, one of the toughest things that we don't take into account or people don't take into account that often go behind the scenes in a fight that people just don't really see? They don't see it on the, embedded. They don't see it on the countdown, but it can potentially be a big factor in how they train. And what do you think, like, one of those things would be, man?
It's the business side, of dealing with, things like sponsors and making sure that everything is being taken care of and you're being put in the best position to succeed. That's one of the things of, fighters don't want the outside distractions. They happen. And the other side of it is, these fighters, all of a sudden they start making some money. Guys from their past from 5, 10 years ago start coming back and want money for them or want them to help them out on an investment. As a fighter, you got to be fully concentrated on the fight. It's not, you're probably not going to be successful.
Right. That's definitely something to take into account, if I said so myself. Yeah, man. And I think a lot of those factors, too, often, like when you're going into something like a big fight, like this Daniel Cormier and John Jones fight, I often wonder how things like that affect them outside when they're expected to come in and be these A1 supreme athletes. But, often we forget they're normal people at the end of the day,
Yeah, I kind of think about, this would have been, UFC 155 when Junior Santos and Cain Velasquez last fought. And, a week before the fight, he refers that Junior Dos Santos got some personal problems, and it ends up being that he's going through a divorce. You recently saw with Mark Hunt going through some personal problems. Anyone that's married, that if you got problems at home with your significant other, it's going to play into your work life, and you don't want to carry those emotions going into a cage.
That's interesting. That's a good point, man. Yeah, that's something that I think a lot of people don't know and take into account. One more question, man, I have is, how do you think that the Reebok sponsorship is going to affect fighters? Like, have you heard any inside word about, like, has anybody dropped any little tidbits about, what kind of the roof and ceiling is, or how the majority of fighters are feeling? Because from what it sounds like, it's very, like, half and half. Like, some fighters are like, some fighters are like, I don't know if I like this,
Yeah, it's very mixed. I've talked to a couple managers about it, and they're still trying to figure out exactly what's going to take place and how it's going to work out. But I think for the For the bottom card guys, this will be a good thing. You know, you're not going to be chasing around sponsors, trying to get deals, and then chase back around to get your money. Your money's going to come straight from the UFC. So I think for those guys, it's going to be good. For the mid-card guys, for most of them, I think it'll be good. Some of them who do make good sponsorship money, it's not going to be good. The guys at the top, it's not going to be good for, because those are the ones that can make a lot of money. You know, MMA Junkie put out a great video where they were talking to a couple people, and you know, Brian Caraway was talking about his girlfriend Misha Tate, about how, you know, it's going to hurt her. You know, you look at a guy like Danny Castillo who fights tomorrow. You know, tomorrow's his 20th fight in Zuffa. You know, and he is not a ranked fighter, and so he could go out in the building and probably get a lot of sponsorship money. And a Reebok, he's going to lose money. You know, so you kind of feel for those guys, but I think at the end of the day, it'll probably be good for the fighters. But you know, we're still at a position where we really don't know how this is going to affect, and that's one of the things that you hear from managers. It's just a big uncertainty right now, and I think for promotions like Bellator and the World Series of Fighting, they can really use this to their advantage to get some fighters.
Absolutely. Well, before you go, man, one last question, I guess. I don't know, it's my last question after my last question, but do you have any kind of insider tidbits you can drop that are like past stories that people don't really talk about, or anything about the fights coming up this weekend that's like some MMA insiders information you want to drop, that little gem on us real quick before you head out, man?
Well, I can give you two things. You know, first off, there's been a lot of talk about Marcus Brimage, about this camp. He did not add American Top Team due to an accident that happened late last year. If you were talking about how this is the first camp that he's been away from American Top Team, that's not true. His last camp was away from American Top Team as well before he went down to Australia. And I'll give you a fight booking I'm hearing is pretty much booked. Is a Bellator fight booking, and that's going to be Ryan Couture against Dakota Cochran on March 27th at Bellator 135 in Vacaville, Oklahoma.
Oh, snaps! Dropping knowledge on us, Jason Floyd. Man, dude. Well, hey, Jason, I definitely appreciate you coming on the podcast like this, and I know we're just small potatoes right now, but don't worry, we're gonna be big time. I'd love to have you back on the podcast, you know, in the near future, man. Yeah, I just appreciate you coming on and you know, just
anytime
dropping some knowledge on us, you know, and yeah, man. Want to wish you the best, and thank you so much, and I'll stay in touch with you, brother.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you so much, Jason.
All right.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye. Jesus, man, that was a cool interview. That was a knowledgeful interview. We're about to get in on that ass, though. We're about to call Mr. Fight Jones. Let me call Mr. Fight Jones real quick.
Wait, you're calling him?
Yeah, I'm going to call Fight Jones. We're going to get Fight Jones on here. Well, we're supposed to have my buddy Scipio.
That's what I thought.
But Scipio's not going to come. Scipio had to work last minute. He was going to come 2 weeks ago.
That's too loud for it. That's too loud.
Your mom's too loud.
That thing is heard.
Matt Jones.
What's up?
What's up, Fight Jones? How you doing, man?
Good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Am I catching you at a bad time?
No, we're good.
Okay, good, man. I'm sorry we went late, man. I had Jason Floyd from the MMA Insiders podcast, MMA Report, had him on here. He was dropping knowledge on us, man. You know, we just got learnt. We just got schooled. Dude's got knowledge, man. How you been?
Good, brother. Good. Just
all right, man.
Bouncing around a bit.
Listen, let's cut the bullshit, Matt Jones. Where's this fight with Ryan Ford happening, man?
With who?
With Ryan Ford, right?
Yeah, we were talking about Smack on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it. Well, I know you saw that.
Man, I saw you. I saw you. You told me to go take a look at it, and I was like, Jesus Christ, is this fight gonna happen, man? He's not like he's scared. He's not like he might be scared.
I think I don't know, man. I was trying to see if I could spark his interest, but I haven't gotten any feedback yet.
Well, when's the next fight happening, man? Next week? You got a fight next week or what?
We're supposed to have a fight January 10th. That got canceled.
What?
Well, my part of it did. I was supposed to fight Rodrigo Pinero, but he tore his knee.
They couldn't find anybody who wanted to fight you, Matt Jones?
They found, that's the other guy's name. Jersey.
Hang on real quick, Matt Jones. Hang on. We got some technical difficulties going on real quick, man. Hang on real quick, Matt Jones. It just happened. We had a cat run in our room. He destroyed our levels. When cats are destroying your levels, that's...
Yeah, we're doing better, okay, man.
Scoot the mic levels down, man. I don't know what just happened. You can't, the mic, you dropping it. You're spitting hot fire, Matt Jones.
Trying to speak clearly, man. Just making sure I'm heard.
Sound in the speaker, though, is what... Okay. But anyways, man, so it sounds like everybody's scared to fight Matt Jones. We need to put it on Twitter. Can't be scared to fight Matt Jones, man. We got to find you a fight soon, man.
Well, yeah, man. So Ryan Ford actually just fought John Fitch out at World. Not John Fitch.
No, didn't he fight Jake Shields?
Jake Shields out of World Series fighting.
I saw that fight.
And yeah, I just hooked up with the Carlo Hanna Academy here in San Antonio, and they are affiliated with AKA.
Okay.
So they kind of gave me some insight. They want me to go up there to train in Cali. So I was thinking, World Series of Fighting isn't good with AKA. Maybe I can, kind of ride that ship.
Right.
I mean, I haven't got any feedback, basically, from that one. And then the fight that was supposed to happen here recently, that just fell out completely. So.
Well, that sucks, man.
It's good, man. I need to get back in there and probably look for a March, early spring to fight again.
Right on. Well, I want to hop to something, man, because we were watching. Yeah, me and my buddy Jordan, man, we were watching some of your fights earlier today. I got a copy of the Daniel Jolly fight and the Carl Perry fight. You remember those fights, Matt Jones?
Yeah, those are early on, man.
How early was that, man? Was it like your first 4 fights?
Yeah, Jolly was my first one. I want to say Carl was my third one. Third or fourth.
Oh, for real? Okay. How did you do in the Daniel Jolly fight? As it only got 2 rounds, man.
Well, we went the whole 3. I lost that one by split. I feel like we definitely went one round. Like you got the first. I feel like that. And I actually thought I had the third round too. I dropped him midway through the round, and then I don't know. It just didn't work out. I guess being from or whatever, doing the fight.
Bro, what weight was that fight at, man? Because you looked a little bit smaller than Daniel, man.
That was 205.
What?
205. Yeah.
It looked like Daniel was probably cutting good 20 pounds to try and... Dude, he looked huge, bro. It looked just like 2 different sizes. But you know what? The whole thing with that is y'all are having like some crazy exchanges, dude. That thing was like, bro, are you serious, my dude?
Yeah, I was so raw in that fight, man.
It was a crazy. But the other fight that we watched was the Carl Perry fight. My friend, you knocked him on his fucking ass. You got in there, man. So you ended it with the neck crank. You remember that fight? Walk us through that fight.
Yeah, there was a lot of takedowns on that one, man.
Yeah, dude. We saw like crazy Daniel Cormier double leg takedowns. You fucking flipped him behind your back and did acrobatics with his shit. Man, you were doing crazy shit, man.
Yeah. Me and Carl actually became real good friends after that.
Oh man, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So, what do you think about these fights tomorrow? The Daniel Cormier, John Jones.
Dude, man, another good card from UFC. I don't know. I don't think it's a good fight because I've been watching all the Tommy Tohold stuff, all the UFC unfolded or whatever the hell. And I got DC winning the fight because it's an ugly fight for John Jones, but it's tough to go against him, pick and play against him.
Do you say you watched the whole Tommy Tohold fight, the videos?
Yeah, all of them, dude. They're freaking hilarious, man.
You pee your pants too? I was about to say, dude, those shits are hilarious, bro.
Yes, it is, man.
Those shits are fucking hilarious, man.
Oh, man. I love the way they mimic Cormier And John Jones like, really, John Jones?
Really, John Jones? Yeah, man. Hell yeah, dude. That shit's funny as fuck, man.
Yeah,
Do you ever, you know what we've been doing, man? We've been watching a lot of fight breakdowns. You ever watch the fight breakdowns with Robin Black?
No, I haven't. I've seen some of the Gracie ones.
Yeah, the Gracie ones, they mainly focus on like the wrestling and stuff. I mean, you gotta check out Robin Black's breakdowns, man. He does a Fight Network out of Canada, and he does like a weekly breakdown. Like every week, he picks a new fight or a new like fighter to break down, and he fought like 10 fights, like 9 fights. But he knows shit, man. He knows the truth, man. He's on some serious breakdown game, dude. Dropping knowledge on them haters, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't know if there was another fight breakdown like that.
Yeah, dude, you gotta check it out. You gotta go YouTube it. Me and my buddy, I downloaded a whole bunch. I may or may not have access to a YouTube downloader. I can't say that officially because I don't want to be sued or nothing like that. But but I just download, dude. I've got like 60, 70 gigs of like boxing, kickboxing, MMA fights, and I download a whole bunch of breakdowns too, man. Or I may or may not have. But dude, just watching them, it's a serious game, dude.
Is it serious or are you just joking around the whole time?
What's that?
Is it serious, like YouTube breakdown of the fight, or are they just bullshitting the whole time?
No. This dude knows the truth, man. You gotta look at Robin Black's breakdowns, and he's on some like serious shit, dude. Like he knows his game, dude. Like he knows all about like striking. Like he used to fight, so he breaks down like where this guy positioned his feet or what this guy has tendencies of doing. And he broke down like one of the last ones he had a breakdown of was like the Lyoto CB Dalloway breakdown. He recently had
did you watch that one?
What's that?
Did you watch that fight?
Yeah, dude, it was crazy.
Crazy. A couple of ribs, man.
I expected it to go kind of like that, but not that fast.
I was expecting TV to do the Doberman, take it down, grind, and Lyoto to try to stand his feet. I thought Lyoto was going to lose that by decision.
No, man, who's going to do that to him besides Chris Weidman?
No, that's true.
Anyways, man, here, I'm going to pass you over to John Miller real quick, man. Hang on.
Okay.
Speaking of the Chris Weidman fight and Lyoto, we're actually watching that right now as we're talking to you. So if I seem a little displaced, it's only because I'm watching Machida's beautiful footwork. And that kind of brings me to a question. Who in MMA or what style of fighting has inspired you to like change up your game?
Honestly, I started off kind of hands and feet, and then grappling. And then lately, I've been less feet, more hands, and grappling. So it's like the Diaz brothers' hands, kind of. But then the wrestling style of like the Weidman, of the Velasquez, of the Cormier, those kinds of guys. So I'm trying to really blend those two together. So there's no real one guy that's like, this is what he does and this is what I want to do. It's just been trying to really see what works for me best out of all of them.
And speaking of wrestling, from what you said is that, and what a lot of fighters say is that that's like the capstone to actually making a complete fighter and one of the biggest parts.
Yeah.
So for you, what do you feel is the next thing that people should focus on besides let's say wrestling?
And that's the big question, because for a while it was all about judo. Who was it? Sekiyama, he was a big judo guy.
Oh, yeah.
Carl Parisian, who was a big judo guy.
Oh, yeah.
Ronda Rousey, the judo, but she's catch wrestling too. So I don't think now the sport is so blended, that I think the wrestlers are still some of the better conditioned athletes. But if you can stop him from going to his bread and butter, you can usually beat a wrestler on his feet. But then you look at, Chad Mendez versus Jose Aldo.
Yeah, and
those
it
kinds of
go
fights.
that way.
No, it didn't. I mean, he proved he could stand too and bang. So I don't know. I don't know what the next discipline would be to be like focused on, because MMA is really becoming its own realm, you know.
I think the next thing that it's going to be is, dude, we've already seen it, is Dwayne Banks' footwork, bro. Dwayne Banks bringing
I don't know what that guy's showing you, dude.
He's bringing sexy back, man.
He's bringing something, because whatever he's showing these guys, like Dillashaw, Mendez, what's his name? Benavidez. Like, all of them are just crazy with the hands of feet now.
We watched, I'm going to send you this thing on Twitter. Literally, it's like an 11-minute video of, like, Dominic Cruz's, like the way he moves his footwork, though, and how he's based it off of, like, boxing. And it is insane, dude. Like, you'll never watch a Dominic Cruz, or you can't watch a TJ Dillashaw fight again since he based the style off Dominic Cruz. Like, you cannot watch him the same, because you see things in a whole, I mean, I'm sure as a fighter you see things as a whole different light, but, like, watching somebody like Dominic Cruz and how he does what he does, insane, bro. I'm sending you the link on Twitter right after we get done with this, because you have to watch it.
Make sure you shoot, man. But, dude, talking about Cruz, he's had a rough break.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, what do you feel about the other knee ACL? What was that?
It was his other ACL, yeah, his other.
His other ACL, yeah.
So,
dude, that's what happens, man. Like, when you get injured, you start to use other parts, other body parts, or lean more, or whatever. So it's a matter of time. Unless he trained a specific way to balance it out, it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of, injuries, how the UFC was plagued basically with injuries all of, 2014, like some of the biggest fights were delayed or possibly are not going to happen.
Well, this Cormier-Jones fight was pushed back, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely, well, I mean, look at the drama all around this fight. I mean, that press conference is pretty much what sold it. So, bringing that up, when Dana White said that wasn't the reason they were going to fight, do you actually believe that had nothing to do with wanting them to, keep the fight on instead of let Gustafsson have his, title shot?
I don't know. I think Gustafsson fighting Anthony Johnson is a bad fight for Gus. I think Cormier versus Jones is a good fight for fans, so I think it kind of works twofold, because if Jones wins, he's not fighting Gustafsson again. I think Gustafsson loses to Anthony Johnson. So that'll be the next fight. But money-wise, like January 2nd, beginning of the year, or January 3rd, whatever it is, it's just a good fight. I don't think it was injury-wise or anything. I think it just worked out for him.
No, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a fight I wanted to see. I had the same feeling with the Gustafsson and Anthony Johnson fight.
That's just a bad fight, dude.
Yeah, I do think that Cormier can also beat Gustafsson, but I think Gustafsson is possibly Jones's kryptonite.
Why are you calling Gustafsson? It's Gustafsson.
My bad. My English is bad.
Whatever his name is. What's his first name?
Alexander Gustafsson. Everybody knows.
Just call him Alexander. Just call him the action editor.
I'll do my best. My English is rough.
I said it wrong too, man.
Matt Jones dropping knowledge on us again, man.
We're not just fucking cheating, man. We're not speaking shit.
They all got Merca. They all got them crazy names, man. Ilir Latifi, Alexander Gustafsson, Nick Sterling Backstrom, and Leota Machida got a crazy name. I don't give a fuck.
Donald Cerrone versus Miles Davis. Who you guys got?
I'm going for Donald Cerrone, bro.
Miles Davis been doing really well, though.
I'm not gonna doubt that maybe Miles comes strong, but it's Donald Cerrone in his prime right now. Like, he's not any more prime than he is right now. Like,
yeah, he's on like a 5 or 6 fight win streak, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's hit 2 primes. He's hit one in WEC when he fought for the title twice against Vincent Henderson. Like, he was peaking. He was doing really good. And then I think Vincent Henderson peaking. Hey, BJ the best. But no, he looked really good in WC when he peaked against Vincent Henderson, and then now he's coming with it. Like, he kind of had that 2013 that was kind of like, and then 2014 he was like, yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. He's finishing cats, man.
And crazy, like who the fuck finishes? Was it Jim Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Who finishes Jim Miller anyways?
My grandma doesn't even finish Jim Miller. Like, I don't even.
Yeah, that guy can get hit with the brick, dude. He still doesn't go down.
Oh my god, dude! Like, that was a crazy fight. I like that fight, man. But I'm saying, I think Donald Cerrone. Here's my picks for tomorrow. This is what I'm going with. I still don't know for Daniel Cormier, John Jones. So don't ask me. Don't nobody ask me about that.
You gotta go with Cormier, man. He's tossed some of the best heavyweights in the game.
Well,
he's gonna take John Jones down. He's gonna get it right back.
I got some interesting tidbits about the Daniel Cormier, John Jones. Dude, I just got back from Albuquerque. And
you out there?
Yeah, I was out there, man. I went out there to some family stuff, man. My girlfriend and her family is from Albuquerque. And,
oh shit, man!
Yeah.
So, Happy New Year. Just tell me about that.
Dude, dude, have you been there?
No. I've been invited by some of the guys that have been out there to train, but.
Bubba, you gotta go out there, man. You gotta go out there, and you gotta go out there and check it out, dude. It's amazing. It's an amazing view. They have a mountain that's always in the east. It never moves. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't take off at night, and has sleepovers at their friends. Dude, it's beautiful. But anyways, I went out there, dude. Nobody in Albuquerque wants John Jones to win. Nobody.
Why?
They say he has a bad reputation, like, in the city. Like, he's just when he goes to the clubs and he has a bad reputation with people, dude. Like, nobody there wants him to win. It's crazy. Everybody's going for Cormier by default.
Dude, right now I think Jones is catching a rap because I'm not saying you shoot a lot of each other. And the stuff that John Jones doesn't fit the style.
What was that, John? Hey, Matt Jones, repeat that. You were kind of breaking up, man.
Heard that in there. What I was saying is that John Jones has been talking a lot of different level of smack talk that he has before. He's saying a lot of things he's never said before. As far as like he's cussing more, he's talking mad shit. Like, I mean, he's saying things like kill you, pussy, like all this stuff. It's like, dude. You're still, I mean, a lot of kids still look up at him as like, role model, younger fighters. They're like, hey, I want to be that, right? And if you have to change and become that kind of person, it's not a good look for MMA. It's not a good look for sports in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's getting exposed for like being a real person. That's my whole thing with this. Like, he's finally showing like he is a person who talks shit behind the scenes, and like. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know who I'm going for because John Jones has so much talent, but there's a lot of like, hype up against with Daniel Cormier. I mean, of course he's fought in heavyweights, but like his training partners, he's got King Mo, he's got Liam McGeary, he's got that little wrestling dude who won the gold medal from him in 2004. I mean, he's got a legit team behind him that want him to win. Like
Steven Seagal.
He's got Steven Seagal. Jesus Christ! John Jones rubbed Steven Seagal the wrong way, and Master Steven Seagal wants to go teach Daniel Cormier how to throw a front kick or something. Like, who the fuck does that? Like, this shit's real, dude. Like, it's scary. It is so scary, man. But I mean, I don't know, man. I'm a bit torn on this whole thing. But back to what I was saying, man. As for tomorrow, I'm going with Donald Cerrone for sure. I'm going to go with Nate Marquardt against the Brad Tavares. I'm going to go with that cat, Tamaguchi, Horiguchi, whatever his name is, the Gucci. He's going to, because potentially if he wins tomorrow, he's going to fight Demetrius Johnson. Because, I mean, who else is there at 125 right now? Nobody really else. He's got the highest winning streak right now. I mean, they still need to have the Ian McCall, John Lineker. And I'm going with my boy Hector Lombard. He's so scary.
You're taking Hector Lombard over what's his name?
Josh Berkman?
Yeah, Berkman is I think he's really underrated.
Well, he can be underrated. He's going to lose tomorrow to Hector Lombard.
I got Berkman on that one, dude. I think I got Berkman over Lombard.
Is it a personal thing? Do you know Berkman? Is that or no?
No, I don't, man. But I've watched Berkman fight. Like he went crazy a little too with fighting things like that, and I don't think he was supposed to win a lot of those. So I'm definitely.
You can't say it's Hector Lombard. I'm scared to talk bad about Hector Lombard. That's all I'm saying, dude. He's a scary guy, man. Like,
That's welterweight. Well, Hector Lombard used to train at ATT, I think.
Right, yeah. He trains over there in Florida, dude. He trains out of Black Zillion. He's in the Black Zillion camp, I think. Or...
Is that where he's at now?
What's that now?
Because ATT and Black Zillion are two different teams.
Oh, okay. No. He was ATT. He's with ATT then. My bad. You know what I'm talking about. The guys. I know there's two teams in Florida, and they don't like each other.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that? They're going to do the Ultimate Fighter. It's going to be ATT versus Black Zillions, apparently.
What? No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
That's
man.
cool.
For real?
That's going to be like very personal, though.
What's that, Matt Jones?
That's going to be super personal.
Yes, that's apparently the whole point. Like, they're supposed to, it's supposed to not, they're not supposed to live in a house. They're supposed to, like, follow each other's individual houses. It's supposed to be more like reality show-ish. But like,
it sounds like IFL almost, man.
What's that now?
Real world.
Dude, the IFL back in the day, where they had teams.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it sounds like, IFL.
It's like the Sharks versus the Jets again, but not quite like that. Yeah, dude. But yeah, I mean, I'm going for Hector Lombard. I'm scared to say anything bad about him. He might haunt my nightmares. The dude is so scary, dude. I have like 20 of his fights, and he kills everyone. But he just looks at them and they die. I mean, it's I don't know, man. I'm scared of Hector Lombard. I mean, what do you think, John Miller? Who do you got?
I got Daniel Cormier for tomorrow night because he's gonna pull it off. Because for me, I believe that Jones is kind of just floating in the clouds right now, and Daniel Cormier is gonna be the person to wake him up. I mean, are you sensing the same thing, or like what are your final thoughts on that?
You talking to me, man?
Yeah. Sorry, brother.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's gonna show him a different kind of fight. I mean, the problem is that we always say that, like Jones versus anybody. But I think it's gonna be a tough fight. I really see Cormier being the first guy to beat him decisive.
I mean, I can't really argue with that. I really think his wrestling is going to be the pedigree that can get him down. I mean, look what he did to Bigfoot Silva. I mean, you watched that fight, of course, right?
Yeah, dude. I mean, he cleaned his pocket, too, man. It was that uppercut.
Yeah, no, definitely his speed will be the advantage for him to get in. So do you feel, the way most people feel is that the reach advantage is going to be the main thing that Jones is going to have on him?
Sometimes, reach is an issue, but sometimes it's a problem. Because if you can get inside in someone's reach, and then I don't know, if they're on a big hook and like uppercut guy, jabs and crosses don't do much, when a guy has their elbows. But that's been said before too about John Jones, and he started throwing crazy elbows, So I don't know. I don't think he's just going to get him fired. I think it's going to be more about the way he's just going to be stronger. That's what I really think.
And I know. Speaking of stronger, and it just kind of brings me to being an athlete. I know John Jones and Daniel Cormier have been back and forth, with the arguments. Yeah, I'm definitely taking it very personal. Me watching the I think the MMA Insider interviewed him, Daniel Cormier, and he brought up the whole John Jones. Couldn't dunk a basketball. I mean, did you ever hear about that or check out that video?
No, I didn't know about that interview.
Yeah, it came out a couple days ago, but it was pretty funny. It prompted me to actually go to Google and try to see this failed attempt by John Jones. I mean, but for some people, I mean, he's 6'3", 7 foot, wingspan. So, yeah, I mean, there's technique involved in all sports, and but yeah, when I try to see him dunk the basketball, it was kind of painful to watch, to be honest. But I mean, do you really think these jabs from each fighter is really getting under the skin to really make them either perform through emotion or more through instinct? I mean, what's your feelings on that?
It depends on the fighter, man. I think some guys get up for that, and some guys do tend to shut down. A good example is what's that guy? The dude from the Ultimate Fighter that lost to. Oh, he's undefeated. What's his name? And there's only one recent Ultimate Fighters. He knocked out somebody really ugly with that spinning heel kick.
Who?
Charles Oliveira.
No.
That's my brother.
Tall black dude, kind of karate style-ish.
Karate style.
Uriah
Hall?
Yeah, Uriah Hall.
Yeah, I think Uriah Hall kind of, like, he had a lot of hype, he had a lot of things going on, but I think some of the pressure got to him that first actual UFC fight, and then you got guys who, Chris Lee, those guys lived up for that. Like, that's all they wanted to do was just throw down.
Right. Right. No,
so, I don't know, it depends on the fighter. I think it can affect you sometimes, make you fight better. I think it can affect you sometimes, it makes you just wait, and then next thing you know, you're knocked out or you lose that experience.
I got a question. Yo, Matt Jones, I got a question. How much does when you're fighting, like when you're training with like sparring partners, you're getting ready, blah blam, how much does that like affect you? Like, here's the thing. So you got Daniel Cormier. He's training with King Mo, and he's training with Liam McGeary and stuff like that. How much of that will help him versus how much will he have to adapt to in the cage? Does that make any sense? Like, how much of your training you're like, oh, this is just like training, versus how much of it's like, dude, we didn't do this in training. Like, where the hell did this come from? Like, how much of that can you relate to one or the other?
I think anytime you train or spar or whatever guys that actually fight at that same level, especially guys that have like similar records. I mean, King Mo's lost like 3 times.
Yeah, that's true.
These guys are all high-level athletes. They're all high-level fighters. Some of them are high-level wrestlers, some are high-level strikers. But they can all show you things that you may or may not see in the cage, but they all are relatively the same. Until you got guys doing some crazy stuff. Like, I don't know, I saw a guy do a backflip in Japan, but I think it relates well. I think when you train and then you do your 8 weeks or however long you're training and then you go into the cage, you're ready. And if you train with guys with that same intent or that same want to, you'll be fine. You'll be fine in there. It really does come down to who sees the openings, who's able to capitalize, and those kinds of things. But you're ready. And at the UFC level, at the Daniel Cormier, John Jones level, they're good to go. I don't think there's much they haven't seen.
I guess that's true, man. I was wondering how much of that has translated to like when you fight, like you're like, well, this shit's crazy, or it's just like, well, I guess I wasn't prepared, or I guess I'm adapting right now.
Yeah, the one fight I had against Linton Vassell, that one, I never trained against the guy who set the long reach. And it wasn't even his striking, it was his grappling that became an issue, because the way the guy could put his arm, like, grabbed an ankle and still be trying to choke me at the same time. I was like, this is bullshit. I couldn't even adapt because it was like I was literally dealing with like a 5-legged, 5-armed guy. I was like, this is fucking Goro from freaking Mortal Kombat. This is stupid.
Somebody put cheat codes on his shit and fucking...
Dude, they did, man. The blood cheat code is in and everything. I mean, fucking crap right now.
That's fucking hilarious, man. Yeah, dude, well, I mean, Linton's fucking... He took down... When he was fighting Emmanuel Newton, like, he just kept taking him down and taking him down and taking him down, and, like, he was trying to get
long, he's awkward, can't even tell you.
Emmanuel Newton's one with the Earth, though. Mother Earth told him he wasn't going to lose that fight, so...
That guy was a character himself.
Yeah, dude, yeah. So have you... Like, when you fought in the Bellator fights, like, did you get a chance to, like, hang out in the back and, like, meet, like... Everybody, was everybody cool? Was everybody beefing? What was it like back there, man?
Dude, I like the staff there. There was Eric Coleman is a photographer, like similar.
Yeah.
There was a buddy of mine that was always my cut man there. I like he was real cool. The fighters, they were just happy to be there, the majority of them. I met King Mo when I fought on my first Bellator card. He seemed straight up. But, like, for the most part, it's just fight. And you don't talk too much to other fighters, really. Unless you train with them or you're cool with them like that. It's just like a what's up, how you doing kind of thing.
So, yeah, I mean, speaking of that, like, when you first started making it to these bigger promotions, like, I mean, what was the overall, like, feeling, like, you know, going into the building or, like, just waiting for your fight to happen? Like, what was it, a sense of excitement or fear? Or was it both? Like, what exactly did have you felt?
The first casino I walked into was when I fought for Bellator at the WinStar World Casino, and that was a big casino, man. It's huge, but walking in there, I was really just telling myself, just enjoy it, because you never know if you're going to get this again, that kind of thing. As we got closer to the fight, though, it started just becoming more like, this is what you do, this is what you do. So it's cutting weight, you go and weigh in. The weigh-ins, though, were more hype. Because my first fight was against Cortez Coleman.
Yeah.
And that guy, man, me and him were barking at each other for a good minute before that fight started. So that one was like, that one I didn't need to like wake up for. He got me up for that fight.
So basically, like, I mean, since you talked about the weigh-ins, like, I personally never thought that would be one of the big moments. But I mean, to me, the way I'm looking and viewing it right now, like, that is the realization that this motherfucker is going.
This shit's going down, dude.
Going down. Like, I'm standing in front of this dude that I've been training for weeks, just ready for this moment. Like, I mean, it seems exhilarating, and I don't know, it just seems like a bunch of like emotions are probably a clusterfuck.
Yeah, that's usually when the stuff starts sparking. That's when the lightning starts to strike a little bit. Is when the dust kicks up and the storm starts. Like the weigh-ins is when it starts getting hot, man.
Yeah,
but
it's better right here.
Usually, unless you're doing a lot of promotion and stuff, you don't see your opponent face to face until the weigh-in.
Sounds a little bit better.
So, and a lot of the training, like usually when I find a guy, I try to find a good picture of him and put it on my phone. So every time I look at my phone, I see him. And it just, leave that little lasting image in your mind. And then when you see him face to face, you're like, man, this is who I've been looking at, during grappling sessions, during striking sessions, all that shit.
When it comes to, the psychological aspect and a fighter, I mean, I watch, some of these countdowns and I see like fighters doing different stuff. I'm starting to see a little bit more like people going to a psychologist or possibly a person that walks them through like meditations and stuff like that. Have you looked into any of that to help out, or are you pretty solid in how you think and feel about yourself?
Man, I'm from Texas, man. We were born kind of tough and ready to fight. Like, we don't talk about that shit. But that's a good point, though, man, because a lot of people do look for a sports psychologist. And every time I've stepped up in competition, I have hit a wall. But I haven't been able to beat some of these higher-level guys. And at that point, it's been like, well, what is it? Is it training? Is it my physical ability? Is it my demeanor? And then I've had that conversation with a few coaches at other teams, and all of them watch my fights, and they're like, well, it's not that, man. It's something else. It's something, it's that untouchable thing you need to unlock to really, when you fight, it's sort of animalistic, and it's kind of like playing any sport. You kind of just take over, and you're not really there. It's just you see everything a little bit forward. You fight a little bit better. You're a little bit quicker, this or that. So I think psychology does play a big part, but I think you have to kind of look into yourself and find it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
But my strength coach, Sergio Alamin, I talk to him a lot. If anybody I talk about fighting a lot, it's him. And it's funny because he doesn't know shit about fighting. He just knows how to train guys. But talking to him, he kind of puts some realistic to it, and for some reason it helps me really just put my mind at ease when I'm getting ready to step in there. It's like, what's the worst that can happen?
Right.
You get knocked out. You break an arm, break a leg. Usually you're not going to die.
I mean, that's pretty bad.
That's still not good.
No, it's not good, but it's like, man, if this is what you want to do, you got to accept the risk,
Yeah, you're right. Hey, Matt Jones, I got a question, man. You ever been in the ring? You ever tackled somebody and then you've been on top of them and been like, I want to touch your nipples, and then like you fuck with their head like that, and they're like, what the fuck, and they try to, I don't know, you try to just fuck with them, like just say some gay shit like that, and they just.
No, I get it. You don't mean specifically that, but no, I get it.
No, I do mean specifically. I mean, I don't mean if you ever said that, but.
Some of these guys will tear your head off after the fight if that's the case. But
yeah,
I've known guys to do some crazy shit. I fought a guy in Austin. I forget his name. Edgar Verdeen. You can find that fight. Look that one up.
Okay.
He stuck his thumb inside my glove and started to kind of almost tickle my palm or do something funky during the fight. Dude, I'm not kidding. I had his back and I'm trying to choke him. He sticks his thumb in my glove and starts wiggling his thumb. So, I'm punching him, but then I stopped for a second. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? It was the weirdest fucking thing. But, yeah, I think some guys do think that. There was a fight where some dude bit his opponent.
What?
With the mouth glove on. This was a UFC card, man.
The fuck out of here, man. I didn't want to go that far. I didn't want to go that. I was just saying, has anybody done some like gay shit where you're like, that's gay, don't do that, like, and then it fucks with your head?
Wore the Speedos into the cage.
What's that?
Yeah, there was a fighter who wore Speedos. He got beat up really bad.
Dana White got pissed off.
Yeah, Dana White got mad. I'm just saying, man, like, you do some, like, gay shit like that. You start humping somebody's leg and be like, do you like that? And they're like, what the fuck, man? And then you choke them.
That's never crossed my mind in a fight.
But you have to choke them out, though. You have to choke them out, though, Matt Jones. If you ever do that in the future, and you do some shit like, you got to choke them out, though, because then they're going to get up and get mad.
You're our favorite,
you gotta beat the hell out of somebody, man. If you ever do something like that in a fight, you better break his face, man.
I'm just saying, man, I think that would be funny, dude, because here's the thing, man. One day, some UFC fighter's going to come out and say they were gay, and all the fighters that they fought was like, I thought they were on top of me a little too long, or they were enjoying it a little too much, or they said when I had nice calves, like, I didn't know they meant it like that. You know?
I guarantee you there's some mixed martial artist that fights pro that's homosexual. It doesn't even matter, man. Like, you have to, like, we're at a time and age where it doesn't matter. As long as you don't have any diseases, or anything like that, just let's fight, let's get it on, and then that's it. I don't want to fucking, have a beer with you and take out later. I just want to go down and listen to it.
I'm just saying, man. Yeah, I mean, I understand what you mean, but I'm just saying for the sake of fighting, man, there's going to be some fighter, like maybe GSP comes out next year and is like, I'm a gay epi, but not the epi gay. I'm a gay, and that's why I tackle my opponent and I hug them from the back.
So I guess this we were getting too serious on this radio, so now we got to get a little funny on it. So we got to talk gay and stuff, man.
Exactly, man. We just bust out in crazy shit. That's what getting loaded. That's what Loaded Joe's is all about, man. We just talk some shit, man. But
GSP, man, if GSP came out with that shit, everybody would trip out.
They're like, no wonder you retired and shit. That's why he tackled me. That's why he stood on top of Dan Hardy too long and shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just saying this shit would be funny.
I think they're putting. I think Hendricks is going to rematch Lawler again.
Yeah, we saw that, man. Did you see that, Ryan?
It's official.
I thought McDonald's should have gotten a shot.
I think so too. If they wanted to go to Canada, but I wouldn't mind seeing a third one.
No, nobody does. But Rory's been doing this shit for a long time, dude, and even beating guys soundly. And I don't see there's no reason why he did the next title shot.
Right, exactly, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's my take on that one.
What's up? So, I mean, speaking of Rory and Robbie Lawler, I mean, for me personally, I think he made Robbie look like shit in that fight. I mean, if let's say they do fight, you think that's gonna, possibly gonna happen again? It's only until the ref, makes them stand up that some action might happen. What's your feeling on that?
You mean Robbie Lawler versus Hendricks or Robbie Lawler versus McDonald?
McDonald. Like if they meet again soon, or I mean, you think the same story's gonna kind of play out? The referee's gonna have to come in and help Robbie win that fight.
I think Rory does a good job of kind of selecting his style for whoever he's going to fight.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be the same kind of deal, but I think Rory's a good striker, he's a good grappler, but I think he really changes himself for his opponent. But Lawler is old school. Lawler just wants to kind of, slug it out a lot. So I think it would be the same. Yeah, I think Rory would try to take him down, would basically, dry hump him the whole fight, win.
So, speaking of Robbie, do you think it was right to, give the title to Robbie Lawler? Or do you think he won the last fight?
I don't know. I've watched the fight, and you could tell, I'm talking Hendricks and Lawler.
Yeah.
I watched that last fight, and I felt that, Lawler definitely won. It was a good close fight, You could tell Hendricks wasn't himself.
Yeah, his cardio was questionable.
Yeah, there was something going on, or maybe he had the great camp, or maybe he was just exhausted from the last camp. I don't know. The guy's been fighting the top of the line for a good while, too, just to get to that level. So, I don't know. Lawler's been doing it for a time. Maybe he just has a little more in his tank right now, or he's used to this kind of deal. But
well, he's been fighting.
Yeah, I think he got the title.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Jordan. I just wanted to ask you a quick question. Like, when it comes to people who are deserving of title shots, and people who have a good way of running their mouth to get themselves that title shot, overthrowing that person who's really deserving of it, how do you feel about that?
Conor McGregor.
yeah, exactly. And Sony did the same thing when he fucking was going to take on Jones. He ran his mouth. Jones gave him the title shot. But
I mean, what is it in China? They say the loudest, or what is it? The nail that sticks out gets hammered down. Mm-hmm. Or in America, we say the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It depends on how you look at it. I think that if you can put up, physically and show well, but then you can bark enough to get that attention, then you're just as deserving as the guy who beats the crap out of everybody but doesn't say a word.
Exactly. So in my opinion, I think Frankie is deserving a shot to fight for the title, but McGregor's going to come in. He's going to fight Jose for it. So that's going to be a great fight.
I agree.
But
I just don't think Frankie should change his style. I don't think he should be like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk shit now." Like, no, man, that's not your thing. You earned it the old-fashioned way, the blue blood way.
Exactly.
Don't sit there and try to be Conor McGregor, because then it's not gonna suit him. People are gonna be like, "Well, you should fight just because we don't want to see you."
Exactly. All right, man. I just want to ask you that one question. Appreciate it, man.
Of course, man.
I don't need the mic. Don't hand me the mic. I have two mics. These people handing me mics, and I'm already paparazzi. I don't need none of this stuff. Money Blake, whatever. Just
Conor McGregor. But even if though, dude, Conor McGregor talks shit, but he's knocking cats out.
Yeah. He talks
he's barking. He's saying all the right things. But damn, that dude can throw down.
Have you ever watched any of his old school fights from Cage Warriors?
Yes, dude, I did. I sat back and watched. I think there were 2 fights I watched. And both of them he finished those guys, and I was like, shit, dude, this guy's.
He's only had one fight where it's gone to decision, and I think almost all but one fight he's had that's ended with KO. He had one that ended in submission, and the guy he submitted, literally, he fought him for the featherweight belt in Cage Warriors, and the guy came in and was like, "I'm gonna submit Conor McGregor. This guy doesn't know how to fight off the ground." And Conor McGregor took him on the ground and submitted him, dude. It was the craziest shit in the world, dude.
Yeah, that was one of the fights I saw.
Oh, you saw that one, right?
It was 2 of them I saw that one. And dude, but if you watch the interview, watch the pre-interview where they talk to McGregor, he doesn't talk like shit. It's a different person. And now he's like, I think he realized, who I am.
No, I think what happened, I agree with you partially, but I think if you watch every fight, since then, he's built himself up to be the Conor McGregor we know now. There's specks of it that come out. I think after that fight, he won that fight, and didn't he run out into the crowd and they all see what I'm saying? That's a glimpse of he realizes the potential that he represents, and he realizes what his image is in Ireland, and what people like and what people like him to do. Because in the next fight after that, he fought for the lightweight Cage Warriors belt and beat the guy by KO in the first round. And he was in the pre-fight video for that, they were showing it. He's a little bit more amped, you know what I mean? And then when they go into the Marcus Brimage fight, he's a little bit more amped. Every fight's turned him a little bit more, until all of a sudden we have this Conor McGregor who we know just loves to talk some shit and kick ass, you know?
The guy's a solid dude, man. I don't know. I think he's going to do fine. I think he's going to finish silver, and this next fight he has is going to be really tough. Whoever he fights after silver is not going to be.
He's fighting. Well, did you see that he's fighting Jose Aldo? The Dana White's already confirmed he's fighting Jose Aldo after Dennis Seaver.
He beat silver.
Yeah, he's already confirmed it this week.
I just think I mean, I want to see that fight, but dude, it's Jose fucking Aldo, man. This guy doesn't just wake up and be like, oh, hey, I'm going to go fight this guy. Like, the guy literally breaks legs. Like, he kicks the shit out of people, dude.
Yeah, he does. This is true, but I mean, how many of those leg kicks does he land against southpaws?
I don't know. I've never broken Jose Aldo down like that because I'm not even close to that weight class. I've looked at light heavies back in the day, but now it's all middleweights and welterweights, and now it's more welterweights than anything.
Yeah, man. He's got some serious power, and I mean, he's a serious fighter at 145. I'm never going to contest that, but I mean, I'm glad to see Conor get a shot, and I'm glad to see that they give it to him. I mean, and so I mean, I'm glad to see that they're doing all this, and I want to see Conor fight Jose Aldo. And apparently, the word that I was reading online was John Kavanagh, which is Conor McGregor's coach, was giving some seminar, and he said that if Conor wins his next fight, Dana told him that they're going to do a fight in the stadium in Ireland in the summertime against Jose Aldo.
Dude? Why not? Seriously, why the fuck not?
The only thing I don't like about that is that they're going to have to have it at a different time because, you know, the time difference between the North American audience and Ireland. You know?
What's the time difference between us and Brazil? Is there a big time difference there? How big is the time difference between us and, like, Brazil or whatever?
I think when they had the card with the Shogun Rua, it was like 4 o'clock for the main event, and it was like, I don't know, like 11 o'clock over here. I think it's like 5 hours.
So Sweden, is that more?
Yeah, Sweden's closer to Ireland. I guess that would be, they're having their fight at like sometime in the morning, like 3 a.m. in the morning or something, dude.
That's interesting, because how does that affect you as a fighter? I mean, I get it. You know, McGregor's doing it all the time, fighting here, but how often does Aldo fight fucking, you know?
Right. They're gonna have to change the time difference. You're gonna have to train at different times, and
well, doesn't Mayweather fight like train at 10 every night?
Mayweather trains whenever he wants to train, bro.
I heard he trains like at the time of the actual fight. That's when.
Well, yeah, I mean, every fighter, like, do you do that, Matt Jones? When you're gonna fight, do you try and train more at the time that you know you're gonna go on, like, you know, because you usually fight, you know, regionally, right? So.
Yeah, I had one fight scheduled I had a fight scheduled for Canada that fell through, and it's kind of scheduled for Brazil. We did change the way we trained as far as time. It wasn't anything huge, like, because the time difference wasn't that big.
Okay.
But, I mean, you get acclimated during fight week. You train, man. No matter, when you're in the stadium and you're ready to fight, I don't think there's a big difference as far as if it's early in the, well, I don't know. As long as you're rested, ready to go, I don't think it matters.
Right.
It's just when you're fighting at higher altitudes or where you can't breathe and shit like that, I think that'll be more of a factor than anything else. As long as you have your rest,
Matt Jones, you need to go train. Like, I got good conditioning, bro. You need to go train in Albuquerque. My girlfriend's her sister and her husband, they have a 2-story house in Albuquerque, bro. Every time I would go up and down those goddamn stairs, I was huffing and puffing like Puff the Magic Dragon, bro. Like, the shit was serious, dude. I couldn't breathe. Like, as soon as I got up the stairs.
Similar to Colorado, right?
I think Colorado is maybe like 7,000 feet. Albuquerque's 5,000. It's a mile. It's a mile high. Maybe Colorado's actually no. Colorado is about the same height. Yeah, it's about the same height, maybe a couple hundred different feet, because I know that Colorado's not as high as Mexico City.
I don't know for sure. I know I've trained out in Colorado, and I had a hard time. It was only a week, and in the first 2 days, it took everything in me to get through an hour.
You were dying, huh?
I couldn't breathe, man. My nose felt like it was like plugged up.
On fire.
Horrible. It was shit.
Yeah, I was with the gym over there, dude. I went to the gym over there, and my lungs felt like they were on fire, dude. Like, I don't, and I was like, it's the fucking altitude. Like, I can usually do a good hour and a half before I'm, starting to huff and puff hard. I'm 45 minutes in, and no, dude, it's not happening. It's not. My body doesn't want to go anymore. You know what I mean?
So how long? I guess physics-wise, how long does that really give you a benefit though? Once you travel to another place, like let's say you train in Albuquerque or Colorado, and then you go fight in Vegas or somewhere where it's more reasonable out. You really maintain that conditioning all the time, or
Apparently, like on the Joe Rogan podcast, they were talking about this, and apparently, for you to be fully acclimated to like altitude, it takes your blood and stuff like that. It takes everything 3 years. You need to be in a place for 3 years to be fully acclimated. But if you train over there for like a couple months, your blood and the way you breathe and your lungs, they start to acclimate to accepting a certain amount of like air to your lungs and stuff like that. Oxygen, that's the word I'm looking for. The oxygen stuff, that O2 stuff.
So for it to affect you for like a lifetime, or for a lifetime of fighting, I guess, for 3 years, you got to be there
for 3 years, right? So somebody like John Jones and Daniel Cormier and stuff like that, like that have been there for a while, like they are fully acclimated to training in an altitude setting. And apparently, a lot of I've heard a lot of people, like I did a lot of networking while I was over there, and a lot of the Olympians will go over there when it's Olympic time. A lot of the bobsledders will go running up and down on the Sandia Mountains in Albuquerque, and yeah, man, it apparently it's supposed to help though, even just being over there just for a little bit. And when you leave though, I've heard like your cardio, it's amazing everywhere else, like on land, like you feel like you can go forever. But when you come back, like you feel like you're gonna die because your body just reacclimated to some other setting. You know what I mean?
Well, I know the Olympic Training Center, the wrestling is done in Colorado.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Yeah, they're doing higher altitude to keep their guys good. I guess I just hope it wouldn't make sense to train there for only a week. To say like, oh well, I've trained at higher altitude. But I get what you're saying. No, you need to train there for a lifetime.
Right. Well, I mean, I get what you mean. I mean, but I'm guessing if you were there maybe for like 2 weeks or something, like even 3 weeks, like. I mean, I could probably link you up with some people that I met over there, dude. Because one of the guys I met was a wrestling coach at a high school, but he also his head instructor over there was helping out with like when Nate Marquardt was there and GSP was over there, and he helps out with Greg Jackson's camp and.
Is Mike Winklejohn still there?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I found out the whole fucking shit about Mike Winklejohn, man. Like some crazy shit about how Damasio Page left Mike Winklejohn's camp because Mike Winklejohn used to not be with Greg Jackson, and apparently Damasio Page had a loss and he left Mike Winklejohn's, and since he left Winklejohn's, like a lot of other fighters left. And he had to fold his gym, and he kind of made it one with Greg Jackson. He teamed up with Greg Jackson, and that's kind of how they got started. And I was like, what? I didn't even know all that story, dude.
John Jones' striking coach was Mike Winklejohn.
What's that?
But I thought John Jones, his striking coach was Mike Winklejohn. I thought, but I think I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's that other dude, that Gibson cat, Brian Gibson.
Yeah, I saw that on one of the extended like previews of the fight. I was like, oh, he doesn't. I thought he had Mike Winklejohn, but he's got a different striking coach.
I think like Mike Winklejohn, like kind of to put it in like a football perspective, he's like the head striking coach, and then they have all these other like micro striking coaches that kind of individualize game plans for the fighters. So yeah, I mean that makes the most sense. But apparently this Gibson cat knows John Jones really well and helps him train for the fights really well. And
where you guys watching the fights at, man? You guys gonna stay at home? You guys going to the bar? What's going on?
We're gonna watch it over here at my buddy's house, over here at Ryan's house. He's got a 1,100-inch projector screen, and we're gonna. It's 7 feet by 11 feet, boss. Check that out, Matt Jones.
It's too big by too large.
It's too many. Yeah, it's too many people, man. That's like two Bigfoots. You know what I'm saying? Put together. But Matt Jones, I appreciate you coming on the thing, man. You want to give any shout-outs to any of your sponsors or anything like that?
No, man. I wanna say something to Mr. Ryan Floyd, man. If he's down, dude, he knows I'm willing to fly up, drive up, get to Canada, and give him a little bit of a handful at 170 pounds. So I don't know if he listens to this, but if we can send him a little shout-out, that's what I'd like to do.
Oh, snap. Shout-out to Mr. Ryan Ford. If you're listening over there in Canadian land, Ryan Ford.
Texas got something.
We got Matt Jones. He said he might got a little something, a little strange for a piece of change. Make you holler for $1. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, my thing is right now I'm ready to fight. Like I'm kind of in my own little groove here and want to get the weight off and go down with somebody with a big name, 170 pounds. And this guy's got a name. May not be the biggest name, but Ford's tough, and I want to test this channel a little bit.
Ryan Ford's got a legit name behind him, but you're gonna have to fight him in Canada, apparently. You know that, right?
Yeah, and I'd love to go up there and fucking, take it to him in his home turf.
Well, fuck yeah, man. Well, keep making noise, Matt Jones, and we're going to tag Ryan Ford on the podcast when we put it up on Twitter, so that way he knows what's going down and what Texas wants to bring to him. So, Matt Jones, man, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. Hope to have you in the future. I'll stay in touch with you, man, and yeah, brother, take care, man.
All right, I appreciate it. You guys have a good night, brother.
All right, you too, Matt Jones. Appreciate you, man.
All right, later.
Jesus, man. That was fun. That was a fun interview. Let's get back to everybody here in the crew, though. Where's the bottle opener, though? First off, we need this thing. Where's the other microphone? Is it not being used? Someone dropped the mic. They thought it was too hot.
Mike picked up.
So, what does everybody think about all of our guests tonight, man? Where's the bottle opener? Jesus Christ, man. Making me search for a bottle opener. What does everybody think about all our guests tonight, man? I need some feedbacks.
No, yeah, Matt Jones definitely, I think he's just a very likable guy to talk to. So, it was very sensible for us to actually kind of open up and talk to, especially the previous guests that we had. Like you said, Blake, we were a little starstruck in the beginning, and we had to, get a little warmed up. But we're still trying to get this thing going.
No, yeah, Jason Floyd, man. I liked having Jason Floyd on this podcast. I think Jason Floyd's That's not a good question to ask me. You should study our guests, man. That's why you're not on our podcast today, Ryan. But the question was, what does he do again? Apparently, no. Jason Floyd's a writer of MMA Report. He's the head writer of MMA Report. He's also he runs two podcasts, one called the MMA Insider and the other one called the MMA Report. And he just interviews, with Sam Kaplan, not Frank Kaplan over here, dude. Get out of here. But yeah, he interviews fighters, and they like to interview him or interview with him, and yeah, man, he's a good guy. And our buddy Matt Jones, as usual, man. Matt's always a character. We're gonna have Matt on pretty often. I like him, man. Hopefully he can get a fight soon, man. Hopefully it's with the big name opponent, man. I mean, Ryan Ford is definitely a step up as far as name wise would go. I think Matt could take Ryan Ford though.
So yeah,
who's got the other microphone? First off, because people are not talking shit. I need some shit talking if we're gonna have Loaded Joe's MMA podcast. It's Jordan's turn. Jordan, Jordan, come on, Jordan.
Man, what about Michael?
Do some shit talking on Loaded Joe's.
To talk some shit.
What are we talking shit about?
We got special guests, Karski. We got Kasky. And we don't talk no shit about Blake. Money Blake Weather just chills. We talk some shit about MMA.
All day MMA.
Well, definitely
MMA all day.
Carr has some shit to talk about. Who he picks for tomorrow night.
Carr didn't know that CM Punk got signed. We're not going to talk to Carr right now. He's in the car. Car's in the car
CM
on
Punk got signed with an 0-0 record.
with 0-0, dude.
UFC signing them. But
So I got some hot topics for us to talk about real quick.
So, like, what do you feel about that? I mean, do you actually think that that's a legitimate thing to sign him on for?
It's not. I think it's an important business decision to have him in.
it's definitely a moneymaker.
It's definitely money making.
I'm sorry. I mean, I don't really watch fighting, but Jordan, you might want to fill me in on who exactly is this guy. I mean, has he been champion or what?
I mean, I don't really know too much about him. I just know he was a WWE wrestler for a while, a champ maybe. I'm not too sure. I don't know much about him, like I said, but.
So, okay, so here's the thing. We got Conor McGregor getting his next... This is what happened this week, man. Conor McGregor gets the next title shot. Johnny Hendricks gets the next title shot.
Yeah.
Apparently, maybe the winner of the Tamaguchi fight... The Tamaguchi fight gets the Mighty Mouse. Who is next for TJ Dillashaw? Is it going to be Renan Barão or Uriah Faber?
I think Barão because he's not hurt, right? Isn't that what they were saying?
Yeah, I mean, he's
because everyone got hurt.
I mean, I think he's...
want to fight Dillashaw.
Yeah, he's the best choice.
Said he would if the money's right, but
I
don't think Faber will take it.
I mean, I think he needs to get his rematch going on.
He didn't look that good in the last one, you know.
I mean, you know, they could figure him out again. He looked horrible. He looked horrible this last fight that he fought.
Yeah, he didn't look
with
that,
Mitch Gagnon. He didn't look that good at all. And then we have CM Punk training over at Duke Rufus camp.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, him training with Duke Rufus and Anthony Pettis.
Some big cats, man. Yeah.
I think it's a good decision. Him training with Ben Askren, Anthony Pettis, Sergio Pettis. I think it's a good camp to come out of. I don't think he's gonna get hurt.
I mean, coming in with his experience, this is the best training he could possibly get. You know, coming in fresh like this.
Right.
It's just like, who are they going to give him as an opponent, though? I mean,
they're gonna have to bring somebody in. They're gonna have to bring somebody in. Apparently, word was maybe Cole Miller wanted him, but I'm like, nah, Cole Miller's too much for him.
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of fighters talking about how much they want to see CM Punk just get demolished.
There's a lot of people who want to see him do good, though, too.
Yeah. I've heard more about people just wanting him just to get KO
and get killed,
and just get his walking papers. That's it. You weren't meant for this.
Yeah.
But you never know. He might fucking go in there and just surprise us all.
That's the same shit they said about Brock Lesnar.
But Brock Lesnar had at least like a fight or two.
Brock Lesnar had NCAA wrestling experiences.
He had wrestling experience.
So we've got a guy in CM Punk who's coming in trained on and off for like the last 10 years with the Gracies, and he has no belt rank. Apparently he's trained Kempo when he was younger, and he has no idea what belt rank he was in Kempo. And he says he doesn't keep track of what belt rank he is in Jiu-Jitsu. He trains a lot of no-gi. So, I mean, it's interesting to see, like, what is he going to bring to the table? I mean, here's a good thing about it. He's going to bring a lot of eyes to the sport.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's going to be a win-win. It's either going to be a win-win, hey, CM Punk won, and a lot more people are going to watch, or it's going to be like, yo, CM Punk, this shit's real, dude. You need to, like, understand, like, this shit's the real thing. You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, like you say, I mean, he's tried all these different, martial art forms. Like
that's what he's admitted to.
How are you going to do that and not try to grow in it, not try to get a belt?
Well, because he's apparently been on the road too much for him to settle down and like study all. I mean, it makes sense. Wrestling is.
I mean, you would still know. I mean, what belt you were at.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think he should know what belt he's in Kempo, but like, if he doesn't have a belt in Jiu-Jitsu,
then say you don't have a belt. I mean,
he said he didn't have a belt. He said he's a white belt technically.
Yeah.
But he's like, I don't know what belt level I should be at, but he said he feels comfortable on the ground. Here's the cool thing about it. I've seen he does some breakdown videos with Henry Gracie and Hilo Gracie, and he looks very good on the ground.
Huh.
He knows positions, like he knows where to go, how to move. He knows what people are doing. He knows what to do. Like he looks very smooth on the ground. That's the thing that kind of, okay. So let's pretend he's got a really good jiu-jitsu background and all he needs is striking. Is Duke Rufus a good fit for all of his striking and maybe wrestling? I think so.
I mean, Anthony Pettis, come on.
Anthony Pettis. Well, Duke Rufus. Duke Rufus is one of the most amazing Dutch-style kickboxers of all time, dude. Him and his brother are like on different levels of kickboxing, and so they put that to the. Why are we doing Grand Theft Auto? Why don't we have some fights going on, man? We have some fights going on.
I'm watching some murder.
I'm gonna complain during your turn. This is not MMA. This is nothing to do with MMA. This has nothing to do. There's no ground game. There's no wrestling.
Yeah, I don't see no takedown.
I have no technique.
Right here, look at this takedown.
See, that's a good overhand right.
That's not a takedown. I don't like this.
Pride style.
That's dirty. That's illegal.
Anyways, man, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to make about the whole CM Punk thing. We'll see. Just like I don't know what to make about the Reebok thing. I don't know what to make about it at all. I'm hoping it's a good thing for the fighters.
Me personally, I don't like it. I like all the sponsors and how people went with different attire. Like, I mean, to me, that is UFC. I could care less about Reebok.
Well, apparently, I mean, they're able to have their own. They have their own look. They can make their own. They can design their own look.
Yeah, but I mean, the sponsors make the sport, MMA.
Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of grown it from the ground up with like Tap Out and Science and who else are.
Yeah, I mean, like
Affliction. How big was Affliction at one point in time?
Dethrone. I mean, come on. Like, I mean, there's a lot
Dethroned, yeah.
A lot of beautiful advertising going on that these fighters done. So I mean, I personally, I'm gonna miss that. I know for the guys on the lower end of the pay scale that they're actually winning probably the most out of it all. But
no, probably the guys with the higher pay grade too, because I don't hear any complaints from Johnny Hendricks and Robbie Lawler and stuff like that. You know, like
I mean, we got to look at the contract. I mean, I have to have better.
We need to see like how high the ceiling is for how high they're gonna get paid and what the lowest end.
So
for
yeah,
these
the
fighters
percenters are gonna be all right, but what I'm talking about is all the MMA.
Well, I mean, I think that it's gonna affect the people in the middle. It's gonna affect the people in the middle. Just kind of bottom line, dude. You got people like Brendan Schaub who's gonna affect.
I think it's gonna affect their.
I don't know if you noticed this in the last Lyoto Machida fight. Bad Boy wasn't one of his sponsors.
No,
they pulled out. Like a lot of sponsors have been pulling out now that they know there's an end game at hand, and all he had over his shorts was all Venom, which is an apparel. They're not an apparel sponsor. They're an athletic gear. Like they make gloves and they make shin guards and like mouth guards and stuff like that. Like Bad Boy is no longer sponsoring fighters. They're dropping out. Like that's a lot of money to lose. When all I remember seeing back in the day was like, Bad Boy. On
Venom.
Well, Bad Boy was on Lyoto Machida. It was also on Chris Weidman. So it's interesting to see what Chris Weidman's. Vitor, yeah. A lot of the Brazilian fighters had a Bad Boy.
I mean, to me, this like those brands were their signature. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yes, I'm sour about this whole thing going to Reebok, but I mean, we'll see how it plays out, and hopefully they avoid that contract in the end. But that's just me.
Avoid what contract? What are you talking about?
I mean, the whole Reebok thing.
They can't avoid it. It's already been signed.
Yeah. Well, for how long though?
It's 6 years.
Yeah.
Dude.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess they're gonna have to suck it up for 6 years.
It's gonna be for a nice solid while. Are we doing fights after Cart's turn, or what are we doing?
No.
This is.
I want to watch fights.
I want to watch.
You can look at Card, smile. He's ain't gonna happen.
I don't want to do all this. This is a podcast. This isn't video game time. Not yet. We're not there yet. But even if it was, we need to have fights.
But back to pizza. Anyways, we were getting loaded on that earlier.
Loaded. Joe's getting loaded on pizzas and brewskis and good shits. Yeah, man. I like the fact that we have Conor McGregor fighting for the belt next. I like the fact we have a third Robbie Lawler Johnny Hendricks fight.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's good, dude.
I mean, think about it. I mean, that's gonna be a lot better than seeing Rory make You know.
Rory had a hurt ankle though. The word was Rory had a hurt ankle that fight.
Lawler and Hendricks go at it twice already.
But I mean, yeah.
But every fight was epic.
But I mean, it was epic. Yeah. I mean,
every fight was epic.
Known for knocking motherfuckers out. It's for them, you know.
For them not to knock each other out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then twice at that. Okay, you know what? And Lawler wants to solidify his titles. He wants to knock Hendricks out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a good fight. But I mean, I would like to see it change up. But Roy will get his chance. But it's gonna be a good fight.
Roy will get his day. But who does he fight next?
That's a good question. Yeah.
He's got. Oh, well, did you hear that Matt Brown's opponent just dropped out? He was gonna fight Tarek Zafedine.
I think he'll beat.
Yeah, he was gonna fight Tarek Zafedine, and Tarek Zafedine had to pull out. He had some sort of injury. I want to say like a knee injury or something, or ankle injury. Like he had to pull out of the fight, so they don't have any idea who Matt Brown's gonna fight next. I think.
Well, let's say if they fought, what do you think?
Well, no. I don't think Roy McDonald is gonna fight that fight. I mean, Matt Brown's coming off of a loss. I mean, there's no way he's gonna fight. Like he's just gonna have to wait at this point.
He fought Lawler last, right?
His last fight was Tyron Woodley. Oh no, Tarek Zafedine.
No, he
beat Tarek Zafedine. Remember by KO. I mean, so his next fight's gonna have to be maybe Hector Lombard. If Hector Lombard wins this fight, I could see a Roy McDonald, Hector Lombard, winner takes next contender fight.
I mean, that's
Jesus Christ, dude, that's a tall order right there. That's a tall order for anybody to fight Hector Lombard. I'm sorry.
No Nick Lombard versus the Canadian Psycho.
Yeah, dude.
I'd love to see that.
They both got crazy looks. I mean,
man, but Rory, I don't know, he got a psychopathic killer look.
So does Hector Lombard. Nobody's scared Hector Lombard, dude. Hector Lombard's fucking scary to the fuck.
Well, I mean, that's purely looks, but I'm talking about that gay.
No, I'm talking. You've never seen him gaze. You've never watched any of his fights. Like he's scary, dude. Like he's fucking scary. I don't just say he's scary. I don't just say somebody's scary, dude. Like people didn't just say Mike Tyson was scary. Like he's fucking scary, dude. Like he's scary to.
But he talks funny.
When he fights, yeah, he fucking talks like he's a fucking Cuban. He doesn't give no. He's like Scarface in the ring, dude. Doesn't give any fucks. he dude. We saw him knock out Nate Marquardt. Has Nate Marquardt was bending over. He snuck his right hand underneath Nate Marquardt's right armpit and fucking
Dan Henderson
just fucking uppercut him, and Nate Marquardt was out, dude. I don't know how the fuck he did it. Who the fuck just does that to somebody, dude? It's scary. Dan Henderson didn't.
He did that to Last Emperor Fedor.
Oh well.
No, he did.
Yeah. But he had him on the ground though. Here's the thing.
He was on the. Hendo was on his back, came from behind.
And he hit him, but Marquardt wasn't on that position just yet. Marquardt was still on 2 feet, and he was bending down. As he was bending down, Hector just fucking catches him up the fucking center, dude, and just knocks his ass out.
Think about it. He had more power because he was standing. He was planted versus Hendricks going in for a lower hit. That
Hendricks? You mean Dan Henderson?
Dan Henderson.
Yeah, Dan Henderson.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about positioning.
Dan Henderson generated some serious power on his hits.
Not the best position.
But they're fighting at heavyweight at that fight.
He knocked out a man for a split second who's never been knocked out before.
Yeah, exactly.
Fedor was fucked up from that Bigfoot fight.
Yeah.
You know, he was fucked up from that Bigfoot fight. And so, I mean,
he was old anyway. I mean, how old was Emperor when that happened anyway?
34?
Yeah.
He was not that old, dude. He's not that old at all.
I mean, considering how many fights and
he just been through wars, dude. He had been through.
How long his win streak was and those wars that he did take.
He had been through wars with Nogueira, wars with Mirko Krokop, wars with who else did he have wars with? Yo, he had some. He had some wars with Jordan. We watched a lot of his fucking fights. With Vegeta, that Vegeta fight where Vegeta fucked him up, dude, and then he came back and was like, "Fuck your life." Who else did he? He didn't give no fucks against, dude. Dude, everybody. You name somebody in the heavyweight division in Pride, and he fought them. Gary Goodridge. Who else did he fight?
Overhand.
Did he ever fight Don Fry?
No, he never fought Don Fry because Don Fry was kind of on his way out as Fedor was 3 fights in.
Okay.
he never really got a chance to. He fought Ricardo Rona back in the day.
You fought Mirko?
I said Mirko. He got some wars with Mirko. I think he fought him twice.
Yeah.
He fought Nogueira twice. He fought that Shaka Zulu African Brazilian big. Was his name Shamu or whatever the fuck his name was? A big old African Brazilian dude.
Yeah, I remember watching that at work.
Yeah. He was African. He was not like a Vitor Brazilian who's like a Mexican Brazilian. He was like an African, like an Anderson Silva Brazilian. And he knocked his ass out, dude. Big time. Who else did he fight, man? We've seen so many of his fights, dude. It's uncanny. Mark Randleman. Didn't he fight Mark Randleman?
Coleman.
Mark Coleman twice?
Coleman. That's when Coleman had his roid rage in the fucking.
And he was like, all right. I saw that on YouTube.
He's all he in the fucking.
No.
As soon as Fedor comes
No.
Yeah, good fight. Fuck him, bro.
Yeah, dude, he was so mad.
Dude.
They was all roided out, dude. Oh man, yeah, he was.
He fought Kevin Randleman too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, he fought the who's who of like heavyweight division over the last like 10 years, dude.
Yeah. And, Pride was no joke, man.
Pride was not a joke with heavyweights.
Their heavyweight division was insane.
Their heavyweight division was way better than UFC's heavyweight division at the time. I'm gonna say that from now on, because all UFC had was Frank Mir, and then Frank Mir got injured, and then they had Andre Arlovsky and Tim Sylvia. That's it, dude. That's all they. Like Paul Pantel is nice to have, but like Paul Pantel is never gonna be a UFC heavyweight champion. I'm sorry, dude. Like as good as he thinks he might be, he's never gonna be it. Like they didn't have the heavyweights that they had in Pride, dude. They had all the heavyweights in Pride.
Well, talking about heavyweights, the whole Kane Verdum situation. Kane's been injured for a while. He's recovering. Dana says, or the UFC says, can't fight by March. He's gonna strip him the title. He said he's gonna fight in March, regardless of how he is. If he's not 100% or not, he's gonna fight.
Really? He said that?
He's gonna fight. That's so stupid. So, what do you think about that?
I didn't know that. When did they say that?
I heard this on some MMA website. I forgot exactly which one, but he said he is gonna fight.
What?
So, have you actually heard of this Russian fighter bantamweight that I think the UFC is trying to look at?
Who's that? Tiger?
No, it's
Frodo Kazbalayev?
It's a female bantamweight fighter.
What's her name?
I need to go with my history. Hold on. Man, I'm horrible with names. You know this. Hold on. Where's my history at? But yeah, supposedly they are looking for the next bantamweight to, challenge Ronda Rousey in. Her name.
Oh, she's a bad bitch like that.
Alexandra Abu, I believe. Hold on, let me make sure. Have you heard anything about her?
No, I never heard about her.
Hold on, let me look. Hold on.
She's a bad bitch?
She looks pretty bad, honestly. Okay, so she's moving to strawweight. Let's see.
She's not fighting Ronda anytime soon. She might fight Carla Esparza.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm looking at it.
Unless that bitch is eating some horse meat like Alistair Overeem.
Yeah, I think she's moving down to strawweight. Let's see.
I'm gonna go Tinkle's John. Tell me about it.
I'm gonna tell you about it while I hold your hand and you tinkle.
Yes.
Okay. Well. Anyways, yeah. There's Alexandra Abu. She's moving to the strawweight. But actually, from what I'm seeing right now, is that she may be recovering from an injury. The latest news article, but yeah, despite rumors on why she disappeared from the promotions, UFC officials told Fox Sports that Abu is still under contract. So this is a fighter definitely to watch out in the female strawweight division. So yeah, basically she's someone that's up and coming. That's a Russian fighter. And me, I've been trying to follow some of these up and comers like Khabib and all these other ones that are really starting to bring Putin's name to the game, if you know what I mean. But we're doing it for Putin. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, right now that we have Money Blake Weather out, I got Bud over here and Ryan playing video games, but while me and Blake are trying to watch a fight on TV, so we have a little bit more stuff to talk shit to and argue about.
Motherfuckers bullshitting.
Yeah, no, straight up bullshitting. They're not putting on no fights, right?
I need some fights. Where's Jordan at? Jordan, get some fights on.
Jordan's busy smoking.
Jordan just sounded like he walked in the door. We need to get Jordan. We need to get my producer Jordan. This shit's bullshit.
Bullshit.
Awesome, so some bullshit. Yeah, but anyways, man.
So speaking of tomorrow night, all y'all gonna be over here. Is that right or no?
That's a deal. That's what it sounds like.
Well, watching the fight on the what was it, 10 by 14 or 7 by 14?
1,000 by a million.
1,000 by a million. 7 by 11. 7 by 14.
7-11. 7-11. Got 7-11 by 11-7. Oh man, we need to get some fights going on. This shit's getting boring. But anyways, man, this shit is. I
mean, so honestly, how excited are you for tomorrow night's fight? Because I mean, I haven't been this excited since like Anderson Silva and the Sonnen fight, like we brought up earlier. This one has a lot of tension, a lot of.
This card reminds me of like. I haven't seen a card like this good. Like UFC 178 was a solid card, dude. Like just all the way through, like from top to bottom, that card was super solid. Tomorrow night we have some super solid fights going on, and I mean I'm definitely eager to see how the whole pay-per-view event goes. I mean. I want to see the UFC do well as far as pay-per-view goes, and I think this can be that one event that sinks everybody in and brings everybody in, and you know, I don't know, man, just gets everybody lively. So yeah, I mean, I wanna see that. So. Good. Well, Jordan, we need fights on, man. What's this bullshit? My life is ending. It's ending as this bullshit's going on around me. We need the fight pass on. Again, you need to find people like me who have got fight pass in their life. We don't need no game still going. We need fight pass.
So yeah, let's talk about knockouts or hits. Like, what's one of the?
Let's go back 2014. 2014.
All right, go ahead.
Favorite event? What was your favorite event, John Miller?
My favorite event in 2014. I mean, I gotta say my cat Barboza beating Bobby Green, the shit talker. I mean, I honestly like that fight a lot because my boy came through like I know he would.
I mean, like the favorite event was like the Austin card? Was that the Austin card was your favorite
plus
event?
It was my birthday, so I'm a little biased. So yeah, I'm gonna say that card was amazing. Or honestly,
I like that. That was a good card.
It was my first UFC event to go to.
Me too. Yeah.
So as soon as look, tell me this, Blake. As soon as you walked in, how'd you feel seeing what we've seen on TV?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like my background on that shit, man, because I had a friend of mine who was supposed to have got me tickets. And he bullshitted me, and so I ended up having to go buy some cheap-ass seats and go sit close to Jordan and Bud and Ryan, and they had some badass seats.
Suck some pee-pee for that
No, I didn't suck no pee-pees. But anyways, I went to go, dude, I literally went up to go buy my tickets, and I seen fucking Mike Dolce walking away from the fucking ticket booth. Oh, Mike Dolce! And he was like, hey, what's up, brother? And I'm like, Mike Dolce! I took a picture of Mike Dolce, and then before I walked in, I knew.
I swear to God.
I swear. I knew that was gonna be a good event, man. I knew that was gonna be a fucking good.
Emilio Escobar.
The Mighty Duckman. I swear to God. I was like Emilio.
I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit jealous. I was jelly. I saw how many UFC fighters that you actually took a picture with. I didn't do none of
every
that.
time I would go smoke a cigarettes or drink some whiskeys, sneak some whiskeys and cokes.
That's how you're finding them?
That's literally how I was finding them. I'd go fill up my cup with some whiskeys and cokes, 'cause I snuck in whiskey, or I'd go smoke cigarettes outside. Bro, I'd bump into a new fighter every fucking 2 seconds. Clay Guida, Donald Cerrone, Nick Hine. We fucking saw the chick who got beat up by Paige Van Zandt earlier tonight. Kylie Corinne.
That got fight of the night, right? Did they fight of the night? It was.
I think it was. It was one of the fight of the nights. Yeah.
It did get fight of the night.
Yeah, it did. And I think it was.
That was an awesome.
That was a crazy fight.
Yeah, she did. I'm surprised, that she did that well on her first fight.
Dude, Paige Van Zandt looked amazing. Paige Van Zandt, I want to hang out with Paige Van Zandt, man. We can be friends. And we can be friends. And our friends can be friends.
Be her friend. Hey, but speaking of that, like, Paige, isn't she one of the youngest UFC female fighters? Because she wasn't even
she couldn't
fight on the show.
Right, she couldn't get in because she wasn't 21. She was only 20.
She's like 12, right? Yeah.
Like 12 and a half. Yeah, just the right age. Am I right?
Age to be whooping that ass, so that was a good fight.
That was a good fight, man. I really enjoyed that fight a lot. Yeah, man. Okay, so that was your favorite event. What was your favorite knockout 2014?
Man, I'm trying to remember. When did Dos Santos fight Mark Hunt and knock him out with the...
That was last year, bro. That was 2013. I mean, that was 2013.
I mean, that was that's
2013,
no,
bro.
Henderson and... Shogun. That knockout was...
Fuck.
He fucking did a 90-degree angle.
That was fugly, dude.
He knocked out that nigga's nose from his face. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Henderson was getting you that look for a minute.
Yeah.
You want the mic? Get that mic over there.
Yeah, I don't...
Get that mic right there. Get that mic right there. It's right here. You see it?
Power.
Get on that mic, dude. We need... And then the mic right there. When I'm saying the mic right now.
This on?
Yeah. You're on. You're on it live, dude.
Yeah.
I need to get another beer, but we need it.
Dan, Hendo, Henderson, Hollywood Henderson.
Hollywood! Yeah.
Cracking noses left and right.
Bro.
I mean, that was ugly. Like, what was your reaction when you saw that happen? Like,
fuck, honestly. Dude. It was fuck. I was like...
Drop.
Yeah, dude, because I wanted Dan Henderson.
Henderson was getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, he was losing.
It was ugly.
And that's how you know that Dan Henderson is still in the game no matter what, dude. Like, he'll fuck you up with one hit. And he won't apologize for it. He's real about that shit, dude. And you guys bullshitting over here. John Miller trying to get in on some Californication. They're trying to deny him the finer things in life. But yeah, what was your favorite event of 2014, Jordan V?
2014?
Favorite event of 2014. Event all the way through.
It's difficult, man.
We had a lot of good... I mean, to me, it's not. Like, to me, mine was 178. I'm going to make that loud and clear. Because it had the full fight card was just Stephen Thompson. It had... what's his name? Stephen Thompson, Dominic Cruz. I mean, you had the Kat Zagano, Tim Kennedy fight. You had the Don Cerrone, the McGregor fight. I mean, I guess arguably you could say that the Ireland Fight Pass card was legit, and it really was because the energy of all of Ireland. But I think that was probably one of the best cards of the year that didn't get canceled. I mean, granted...
Yeah, they didn't get altered or canceled.
Well, it was because of John Jones and Daniel Cormier was supposed to be the main event, and they made it Mighty Mouse and Chris Carriazo. I mean, which wasn't a bad fight in itself. It was a nice title fight, but still, like, Jesus Christ. Like, the whole Eddie Alvarez, Donald Cerrone, Dustin Poirier,
destroyed Alvarez.
Conor McGregor, you know,
Yeah.
Tim Kennedy, Yoel Romero, Kat Zagano, homegirl from Amanda Nunes, Dominic Cruz, and good old, what's his name, Mizugaki. Like, you had the hit list of who's who on that fight.
That was a great card. That was a great card. Prelims and all.
It was an amazing card. Like, what was your favorite event, though? Was that it?
I mean, event-wise, fight-wise.
No, not fight-wise. We're not to fight yet. We're at event right now. What was your favorite, like, whole you watch the whole shit and you're like, yeah. I mean, Fox 13, the Fox card on 13 that had Matt Mitrione and Alistair Overeem and dude Dos Santos with the Dos Anjos fight that was a good fight. That was a good fight card right there. Like that probably second place.
That was a good fight. Like I'm surprised
that whole fight card.
I'm surprised Jordan kind of won that. Though. Like he barely scraped
I
by.
would have to like really think about it for a while to get a good fight card in.
I mean, that was a good fight card. The you know what other fight card was good? The Foxwoods, UFC Foxwoods, that had Alistair versus Ben Rothwell and Matt Mitrione versus Derek Lewis, Joe Lozon, and what was the other cat? What was the other cat's name that lost? That was your friend. What's his name? The crackhead one. He was a crackhead.
The crackhead.
What his name is?
He was on the Ultimate Fighter.
Chiesa, Michael Chiesa.
Yeah, Michael Chiesa.
Your boy Michael Chiesa.
Yeah.
Dude, it had John Moraga and what's that white boy? Yeah, everybody thought was gonna win, but he didn't because John Moraga choked him out. What was the white boy name? The one who fought at 125. Remember John Moraga beat that little white boy? Scoggins, Justin Scoggins.
Is that the one-armed dude?
No, that's Nick Newell. Justin Scoggins. He beat Justin Scoggins. He beat Dustin Scoggins or whatever the fuck Scoggins. Moraga beat Scoggins. He choked him out. And then who else was on that card? Alistair Overeem got wiped by Ben Rothwell. We had the Gegard Mousasi and Jacare fight. What a fucking fight that was, my friend. I think that whole card was fucking legit. That had like killers top to bottom on that fucking. They brought the heat that night, dude. So yeah, I mean, there's been some good fights, but it's just for the last time I'm gonna ask you, Jordan.
Dude, stop asking me this.
JV, what's?
I'm gonna say the Weidman fucking
Machida card?
Yeah. You had Rousey on there, fucking quick.
Okay.
Amazing.
Nah, yeah.
Uriah Hall on the card.
Uriah Hall. Yeah, he broke his fucking toe and
that was nasty. Yeah.
Fucking.
I remember watching that. I remember watching that fight card. That was a good fight card.
No, that was a really good fight card.
Yeah, it was a good.
John, what's your favorite event?
You already went through it. It was the Austin card.
Oh, the Austin card. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That was a good card.
It was a great card.
It was a great card. But
just not that firefighter that was trying to call for the fight of the night and that fight like.
Oh, Navarez, Roger Navarez.
Oh.
He's all,
Okay, fine. Shut up. He's not our friend. He fought Matt Jones and he beat him. He's not my friend. He's kind of my friend. He's
that
from
dude
Texas.
Need to go back to being a firefighter and not trying to fight like what he did.
All right. So what was your
2014? Now in 2015.
Was your 2014? Was it? Wait. Please, hey, fight of the year. What was your fight of the year, JV?
Fight of the fucking year.
What was your fight of the fucking year? That was actually up there.
That was more of a schooling than a fight. I mean, if you think about
it. Bro, no, he brought it, dude. I think that's kind of.
Look at that fight.
If I had to,
that was a really good.
If I had to pick that was like.
If you're a TJ Dillashaw fan, yeah, it's a great fight.
I mean, I was excited about the Hunt Nelson fight.
That was a fucking fight, dude.
You know,
that was a good fucking fight.
With that win, that knockout, that walk away. First person knocked out.
Man, but that referee fucked it up.
He pushed him away.
He's trying to walk in there and just kind of trip like, bitch. Just recovers.
He still caught himself, yeah.
Keeps on walking.
Apparently, the referee never seen Mark Hunt fight because you should have known once he knocks the motherfucker out, he don't hit nobody no more. I mean, everyone knows that. That's seen his fight.
He just walks away. He hits and walks away.
He knows when he knocks the motherfucker out. He has that feeling.
I like the rematch between Lawler and Hendricks.
That was a good one.
It was great.
I like the first one. I gotta say, yeah, the first one for me, that's probably.
And he had a torn bicep.
Fight of the year, like for me, like great.
Even with the torn bicep, Hendricks fought a lot better.
I know. I'm kind of like.
He did in the second fight.
I hope he's hurt on the third one, so when maybe try harder.
What's his excuse? This third fight. Yeah. I mean, I think as far as last year, as far as like. Fight that nobody saw coming that was going to be great was the TJ Dillashaw Renan Barao fight.
Yeah, because honestly, me personally, I thought Renan Barao was going to run.
I was watching him with Carr, and I was like, Carr, he was fighting some nobody guy. He's going to run through him. And as soon as fucking Dillashaw threw that fucking, what was it? the head kick from hell, or the punch or whatever the fuck he knocked him down with in the first round, I was like, holy fuck, dude. It was a punch. No, it was a punch. It was a fucking punch. I remember because he ended the fight with a head kick. He had kicked him and knocked the shit out of him. He fucked him up that whole fight, dude. Like, that was one of the greatest, like, Cinderella stories of last year that everybody was like, what the fuck just happened, dude?
I didn't think twice Raw was going to lose like that. Like, for real.
Damn.
That shocked the fuck out of me.
Well, like, another one that was kind of like that was the Fabrice Verdum and Mark Hunt fight. Mark Hunt owned.
Really well in that fight.
Mark Hunt owned that fight, dude.
Really well at the beginning of that fight, but he just got caught with that knee.
He got caught with that fucking knee. And everybody wanted Mark Hunt to win, dude. Did nobody give no fucks about Fabrice Verdum?
No, everyone wanted to see his ass get knocked out, including myself.
I did too.
I mean, I don't know what's about that dude, but I just don't. I mean, I don't see
Okay.
it. Yeah, he's good.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Greatest controversy of 2014. There's a few moments in 2014 that
John Jones fakeness on camera. I mean, I think that's a real.
Are you there, pussy? Are you there, pussy?
Spill in your face.
You know,
I'll fucking kill
I think there's two moments that really stand out.
Door, John, because I spit in your face.
You think I'm really gonna let you spit in my face, John Jones? You think I'm really gonna let you do that, John Jones? John Jones. John Jones. John Jones. Jan Jones. Jan Jones. You think I'm really gonna let you do that, Jan Jones?
Guy like that. He seems real.
You think I'm really gonna let you kill me, John Jones? Jan Jones. But I think the two most controversial moments from last year were one, Diego Sanchez versus Ross Pearson.
Yeah, he got beat on that fight. I don't know what they were watching.
And then the second controversial was Stoolgate.
Stoolgate pissed me off.
Yeah.
That was some bullshit.
I think both of those moments kind of stand out to me as controversial moments from 2014.
No, I mean, yeah, definitely Stoolgate, man. Well, yeah,
that's what we just said. We just said Stoolgate.
When he didn't get off the stool,
He was like rocked. When to sit him down on that stool, didn't get up.
You want to hang
for
it?
a minute.
I don't know nobody. They said don't tell me
he
nothing.
didn't understand English well, man. You don't want to belt those off.
What did you say with Red?
And he went have to go to Tim Kennedy and say apologize.
No one is gonna make that excuse, no matter what language you know or don't know. How the fuck a bell sounds like once you hear that.
Khabib don't speak no English. He gets up the fuck from every stool every minute.
He hears the bell, he wakes up. The bell in the morning, he wakes up. He gets up and gets it done. Unlike Romeo, what the fuck his name is?
Yoel Romero. Romero, no. I'm just saying, that's pretty controversial. But a lot of people from Albuquerque, everybody asked about the Diego Sanchez fight, too. They don't think he won. And they don't like Diego Sanchez. So, I got some news,
Hey, so, you know.
Oh, look, I got some news from Albuquerque. Dude.
I know, I was hearing some shit when I was taking a leak. So, what was
all right, so first off,
insider you left me out of?
Nobody likes John Jones in Albuquerque. Like, that I've asked, every guy that I've asked, like, they think he's okay, but they don't like John Jones. Like, they don't want him to win this next fight. He apparently has a bad reputation in Albuquerque at, like, just a lot of people he meets, a lot of places he goes. Just not a friendly guy. And then apparently Diego Sanchez is the same way. Like, he's very, like, he's turned very Hollywood. Like, he'll go up to, like, he's just people and be like, do you know who I am?
Oh, no, it's gone to him?
It's gone to his head, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and
especially when people get drunk, they're like, I'm John Jones, bitch.
Yeah, John Jones cheats on his wife. He apparently cheats on his wife all the time. And
come on, if you had that much power,
bro, it's been known he got stopped at a DWI with two girls who were not his wife. His DWI in 2011. I mean, you know, whatever, dude. Like, we all know John Jones.
Hey, but if you were his wife, would you leave him?
Hell no. Fuck that. That's like asking the NFL girls, like, would you leave your husband? Like, he's on the road, he's getting pussy from not you.
You're gonna stay with him until you're pretty much worthless, and then around that time when you're
just divorced him for the $80 million that he has.
You're either gonna get money or it's just.
Hey, you grab me another beer, bro?
Well, it balance like 15. What's up?
Another beer?
Another beer, bro? We're in the podcast.
Trying to get loaded.
We get loaded on the Loaded Joe's. We got about 5 more minutes on Loaded Joe's podcast. But I'm just saying, man, apparently the word is Diego Sanchez is not the same person. John Jones is not the same person. They don't think he won that fight. Apparently Diego Sanchez used to juice back in the day, and that's why he was so big when he was on Ultimate Fighter.
Uh-huh.
And he didn't juice like a lot after that, and that's why he fights now at like 155.
Huh.
So that was word going around. And also John Jones doesn't train that hard, apparently. Doesn't train that hard.
Are you serious? He didn't train that hard?
Like I heard when he trains really hard, but like on the off time, and when he doesn't have to, he doesn't train that hard. That's a word going around.
I think about it do you really want to put your body through that stress all year long? I mean, what kind of health?
Bobby Lawler did it.
Yeah, I mean,
Donald Cerrone did it.
Yeah, but
you can do it.
It's possible, but it also depends on that person's ability to heal.
GSP did it.
If it takes a person a lot longer to heal as an athlete, then they shouldn't train as hard through the whole year. Think about it.
Man, he doesn't train. He doesn't. I don't know what his training regimens are like. I've heard like he doesn't train in his off time though. Like he's just off.
Oh, he doesn't train at all. Wow,
right.
Okay.
He doesn't pull a BJ Penn where he's just like doesn't train at all, and even when he's in training, he's not training. But like, he doesn't train in his off season. That's what I hear, and like, I don't know, man. He doesn't train as hard as he could. But like when he does train, like the days that he is in the gym, he trains his ass off. Apparently, so I don't know, man. A lot of people don't want him to win though, just based on his reputation in Kirky. Like it's not good. Not good.
Yeah.
Not good juju. So,
I mean, I definitely see where they're coming from because I feel the same way. I feel the fame has gotten to John Jones, and he needs a fight to bring him back down to earth. That's all I'm gonna say. He needs a real fight, to show him that Daniel Cormier is a real deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and that's what tomorrow's gonna be. I mean, kind of come back on a full circle on a point for tomorrow. Like, God damn it, like John Jones needs an equal. God damn it. Daniel Cormier needs an equal.
Exactly. What he told him, imagine how you would feel.
John Jones, I hope you're my equal, John Jones. I don't think you're my equal.
That, right there, I mean, that's a stunner move right there. For DC to just flat out and
just
say
fucking
that
tell him some shit like that.
A champion, yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of cojones, and that's just fucking something.
He's got
really
some co-hosts.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're going to see. I'm expecting him to be tossing around Jones, like he's done really big fighters in a heavyweight division. So it's going to be very surprising having Steven Seagal on his side. Teach him some of the openings that he saw in John Jones fighting.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I mean, do you really think it's going to possibly give him the edge to win? I do.
John Jones, or are you talking about Daniel Cormier?
DC actually.
I think Daniel Cormier training with legit training partners like that he has been, King Mo, Liam McGarry. I think that's going to help him substantially unless he just happens to get caught. I mean, I think this training he's put himself through hell, and like Luke Rockhold he trains with, and Kane he was training with.
Yeah, I mean, he got a camp.
He's got a good camp.
He got a fucking
He's got a good camp, bro. No denying it, and I think that that's going to help him.
I mean, with that kind of camp, I would think that he would get hurt, especially with him always, sparring with Kane. I mean, honestly, like the way they spar, like it seems like an injury will be a lot more prone to happen at that gym. I mean, I mean, you think about that too when people, train that hard, because it seems like they train really.
But Daniel Cormier never gets hurt. I mean.
Yeah, he doesn't get hurt, which is surprising.
I think you train smart, you don't get hurt.
Yeah, I mean.
Who's getting hurt out of alpha male camp? Who's getting hurt?
Yeah, no, you're right on that.
You train a certain way, you're not gonna get hurt.
But didn't Kane got hurt?
Kane got hurt because Kane just, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about Kane. I think they trained really hard, AK.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm surprised. Daniel Cormier.
But I think they smartened up after Kane got hurt, and they're like, you can get hurt. It is a point where you can push your body, and you're getting older, and you have to train smarter.
Yeah.
How often do you see Floyd Mayweather get hurt? And he's older than all of them.
Yeah. Well, completely different sport too.
Yeah, I mean he's not using wrestling,
you gotta
but
worry about your legs as much.
he's got hand injuries though that plagued him since like his first couple fights. So I mean I don't know, man. I think this is a good kind of way to leave this off. Tomorrow night, a lot of shit will be proven.
A lot of shit going down.
A lot of shit is going down. We have no answers. We just have
opinions.
Loaded opinions.
Yeah.
So to speak, we have some loaded opinions on the sport, and we definitely hope that tomorrow everybody's healthy, and
we see some fucking fights.
We see some motherfucking fight up.
Yeah.
So this is I think this is going to be a conclusion to another Loaded Joe's podcast. Again, we want to give a shout outs to iTunes and Stitcher. You can find us on there. Loaded Joe's MMA podcast. This is episode 3. We want to give a shout outs to Jason Floyd. You can find him at Jason_Floyd on Twitter. Also at the MMA Report. Also, you can find Matt Jones at FightJones3 on Twitter. And yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and start posting some of his videos. Go ahead and be on the lookout for him. And you can find me at Blake Stevenson on Twitter, Money Blake Weather. You just type that in. And hope you enjoy another episode. John Miller, anything closing with you, buddy?
Nah, not really. Gluten-free beer is the way to go. Loaded. Late. Have a good night.
No. All right, man. Peace.